This is live from the back of Mars. Just kidding, it's from the back of the moon. This is live. Hey, who's that guy? Skillam at the Lego. Daniela Baron Cohen. Gerald Baron Cohen, Borat's parents, they all changed the name. Yeah, obviously, down the well or what. Yes, that's obviously true. They'd like to change the name. Brush your hair, you bloody hippie. Hey, CTS, don't make me take your wrench away. But again, this is going to be an interesting one. This is going to be an interesting one. See, what I'm going to show you, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 different groups that I posed this question to. I said, what's the difference between a Jew, a Jesuit, and a Zionist? That's all I wanted to know. And I genuinely wanted and still would like a better explanation of the differences between the 3. So let me give you an example of what the difference is based on other people's esteemed opinions. The really hard researched opinions from various levels of intelligence from Facebook groups of different personalities and levels of consciousness. So this is going to be good. Matter of fact, I need to take a bong rip because this is going to be really good. All right. You're going to enjoy this. You're all going to enjoy this. So I'm going to go take a bong rip real quick. If you can press the like button, press the little bell notification so you can get all my little live feed notifications. Make sure you're subscribed, like, check out my latest channel or my latest video that I just put up called Borat Sings. In my country there is problem, and that problem is transport. And it has a lot to do with what we're about to talk about, the Jew, the Gentile, the Goyim, the Zionist, and of course the Jesuit. And I'm not even speaking in Freemason tongue here. I am not even bringing those fellas into it. Yeah. So let's see here. Let me go. I'm gonna go pack this bowl real quick. I'll be right back. I'll obviously take it with you and enjoy the nice bowl with you. Yo, I don't want to get on Jake Gibson's bad side. I don't want to get on Jake Gibson's bad side. Remember, Antonio, when you had to take this map down behind you? The AE or the the Gleason's map? because you were getting too much shit over it. I don't care. If you want to make fun of me because I have all the maps of the flat Earth, well, not all, but a lot. I have much more than you. I have much more than just the Gleasons and the square and stationary Earth right next to me. I got many more maps that I don't show you. Other people have shown you the maps. I'm not hiding any secret maps. But I don't care if you hate on that. Doesn't bother me at all. I don't give a fuck about people creating lines in the sand. I'm fucking Bugs Bunny. I cross lines. I make lines, and I cross the lines that I made. I tell the people to cross those lines, and I dares them to cross the line. I dares you to cross this line. And they do. Because I've set you up. I'm already leading you towards the cliff. The cliff is the confrontation with your own ego and your own ignorance. So when you get tricked by the subgenius into confronting your own pathetic personality that you call an ego, don't be surprised. Don't step in my path. Don't cross my line. Never mind, do. Cross my line, please. Please cross my line. Oh boy. Okay, let's check this shit out. First, I'm going to see what the hell you guys are all saying. Yo, what's up, Hang Now? That fucking Charlie Murphy. I mean, that, what was his name? James Brown. No, yeah, was it James Brown? Yeah. Yeah, James Brown, because he was born in Buffalo, and that's where I was born. Charlie Murphy! Darkness! Oh, poor Charlie Murphy just passed recently. My voice just went away. So, alright, are you going to join or what, Hang Now? Because I'm about to start this shit, and you're slowing me down now already. Alright, well, I'm going to start this shit, and you're just going to put yourself on mute then. Yo, what's up, Eric? What's up, Cindy? What's up, Hang Now? What's up, Crown of Sunshine? What's up, Cindy? What's up, CTS? Alright, check this shit out. I'm about to go into this deep. Okay, here goes. I'm going to show you everything now. Okay, so we have here this is a group that you guys should be aware of. It's got 160,000 people. And the Rothschilds. Some of you flat earthers have been banned from this group for exposing the Rothschilds. So you're banned from the group exposing the Rothschilds for exposing the Rothschilds. That's how controlled these fucking things are. Most of you so-called shills and agents, FBI, CIA, I don't care what the fuck you think that they are. These people are employed by the CIA, and they don't even get a paycheck. Do you think that these people are getting paid? Dude, you give your blood away for free. You give your plasma and your blood and your sperm. You give your biological DNA away to people. Blood charities and blood work. Selling your plasma for money. Selling your fucking sperm for money or donating whatever. You're giving your blood and your biological physiology away to people. You're self-milking cows. Self-milking cattle. who are completely clueless to how much you're being used. You're a CIA agent, and you don't even realize it because you're an unconscious puppet of the system. So let's learn a bit. What's the difference between... Now, this is going to open a lot of eyes here, folks. I'm going to open a lot of eyes here because you don't know. Do you know? Do you know in the chat room what's the difference? Guys, in the chat room right now. Guys in the chat room, the whole 10 or 15, whatever fucking, how many people watching? How many people know the difference between a Jew, a Jesuit, and a Zionist? In your own words. Ah, shit. Hold on a sec. I got to yoink, yoink, and yoink. There we go. What's up, Hang Now? Now you really do have a fucking hang. You do have a fucking hang now with that shit you cut off there, buddy. You sound like shit.
Hold on, let me fix that. Let me get my headphones in.
We got the faceless enigma Hang Now here joining us, folks.
I went back old school to just Hang Now.
Oh, okay. So let's see here. I got a million people messaging me. Now, this is an interesting Hangout title, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Do any other flat earthers get into in-depth detail about the differences between the three? Have you ever heard of one yet?
Have I heard it?
Have you heard of a flat earther tell and try to explain the difference and even question the difference between a Jew, a Jesuit, and a Zionist?
Well, I have a slight understanding of the Jesuits, but the Zionist and the Jew seem kind of close together. So I'm curious.
Well, yeah, I know, but name the other flat earthers that are talking about these types of topics. I'd like to know their names.
Shit, I don't think I can name any of them. I just remember watching a documentary about the Jesuits. That was enlightening, but I don't remember the dude's name.
Now, who else should I add to the list? Now, what's the difference between a Zionist, a Jew, a Jesuit, a Goyim, and and a, what is it, a plebloid? No, I'm just kidding. But no, but this is going to be interesting because I'm letting everyone. I'm just letting this marinate in people's brains and in their bodies, and I've just been saying that over and over again for the past 5 minutes, trying to waste time for you can catch up. And so now I got all these people in the chat room. I don't know, maybe 10, maybe 20, just thinking about it, and they never have before. Oh, and I also, before I get into this, I also have a new flat Earth activism thing to do. If you're interested in that, and if you're interested in doing, see, I mean, not only am I going to break down the differences between these three, I'm going to try to. I'm going to show you lots of other individual people's answers and opinions upon their conclusions on what the differences between these three things are. And it's very revealing, Christian. It's the whole point of why I'm doing this. The whole point is that I was asking a true question. I've been studying this for a year now, or at least looking into it. Well over a year now, and I'm not even bringing in the Freemasons into this either, or the super trigger word, the Illuminati. I'm not even bringing it in that. I'm only bringing in Zionist, Jew, and Jesuit. And then you'll hear people in the comments, well, the Jews are the Illuminati, and no, it's the Jesuits that are actually the. It's like, oh no, no, it's the reptoids. No, it's the praying mantis. No, it's Bigfoot. No, it's the Yeti Bob salesman. It's like, what is going on? Now? This is getting, it just gets really interesting. So now I'm going to share, oh, well, actually, I'm going to let you say whatever the fuck you need to say before I get into fucking what I gotta say. So yeah, go ahead.
Really, to say the truth, man, I'm just here to chill out and just to listen to what you got to say about this stuff because it's quite fascinating. I know the Jesuits have managed to really rape the Christianity thing and convince people into into thinking that like, oh, this is still Christianity, but they basically took their weird ritualistic wacko satanic rituals and somehow morph it into basically they hijacked Christianity and made it into a crypto satanic uh, thing, and that's what I know. So
Yeah.
I'm just down for listening to picking up info, man. I'm about learning. I'm about flirting and learning.
Good old flirting. I think was I the one to coin that term?
You were the first person I ever heard say it, so in my eyes, yeah,
I
I
remember
love it.
saying it in one of the chats. I'm not going to name, but yeah, I remember then Dan W started saying, and I remember he was laughing and saying, "Oh, I like that. I never heard." So I'll give myself credit for that one. Oh, actually,
And
yeah, because I tried to make it to make it a word in the Urban Dictionary, but they declined me because I don't know, I was probably just too lazy to give them like an extra definition or two. But at this point, it probably is in the Urban Dictionary, and somebody else got credit for it, which it's okay. Here, take credit for this idea too. Here's a flat Earth activist idea, and if you want to get yourself to get viral, go viral. Here, you hear to hear from Flat Earth Subgenius. Not only am I going to give you some details into some really fucked up shit and weird religions, I'm also going to tell you some Flat Earth activism ideas. So here goes. You know those things called bums? Um, these bums, they carry signs. They carry cardboard signs and styrofoam cups, and they collect this thing called money. And they have words on the sign, and it says "spare some change," or "I need $1 for lunch," or "my kids need milk. $1, please. Change, please. Spare some bills." And they sit at the intersections and they hold up their sign and then they collect their money. Now, I've been watching this for a long time, very long time. So long that it's some just sort of social experiment to me now because those people don't get arrested. The cops will come and they'll maybe they'll come. I've seen one cop come for a homeless person or a bum holding a sign in an intersection, which is called pandering. That's against the law. You're not allowed to do that in most areas, in most quote unquote civilized areas. Now in San Diego, there's a lot of bums. In Los Angeles, there's probably a lot more bums. In San Diego or in San Francisco, there's probably even more than San Diego and in Los Angeles combined. Although there's a lot of bums in Los Angeles. Now the point of this is again, I'm talking about flat Earth activism here. Now they have a sign that says "spare some change, $1," and they don't get arrested. But here's the catch: I want you to go out and I want you to hold a nice sign, like a cardboard sign or a whiteboard to make it even nicer. Maybe even dress yourself up really nice and like give out flowers or something, or like I don't know, but whatever. You don't have to give out anything. The sign simply has to say, "Earth is flat. No money required. No money necessary." I don't need. Oh, by the way, Hang Now, I muted you, so you'll need to unmute yourself if you want to say anything. But so the Earth is flat. Oh, and obviously have a camera. So record yourself. So when those people come up and you have a nice smile on your face and you're sitting there and you're eating an apple, make sure you're eating an apple. Look like fucking Adam or Eve sitting there, and so you eat an apple and you have a nice sign and a smile. Look really nice. Look very nice, actually. The better you look, the better it will go. Have a little snacky poo. Have some water. Have a sign that says "The Earth is flat. No money required." And actually, the Earth is flat. Here's $1. If you want to get really crazy, here, I'll give you $1. And then when they roll down their windows and they take your money away because everyone's just a bunch of money grabbers. You record them and you go, hey, Earth is flat. This is flat Earth activism, and then load it up to your channel. And that's how you go viral. And you'll go even more viral when the cops get called on you. And if you're good with your words and articulate, you can go, oh, I'm not asking for any money. So I mean, I'm not pandering here. I'm actually just giving money away. I'll move to a safe space if you need me to, officer. And then just walk away. You don't give your consent to these people. You're giving away money and you're not asking for any money. You're not see. Why don't you go arrest the people asking for money and pandering, even though that should be 100% legal? The cops, they need to be involved in everything. Team America, World Police. See, that's a genius idea. So you upload yourself talking to people in their cars with a sign, and they'll go, what the fuck? The Earth is flat. No money required. No money necessary. Holy shit, what's going on here? And they'll want to talk to you because not only that, you don't look like a bum. You look nice. Okay? So just present yourself a little bit better. It's not that hard to do.
I just thought of something.
What's up?
You know how there's all these flat Earth musicians? You could rather than give away $1, you could give away a burnt CD of flat Earth music, like a burnt copy. It doesn't have to be. It costs you 10 cents
That's a
to burn
genius
it.
idea.
You burn. Yeah, and that way they get more than $1. They actually listen to the music, OGD's music, like a mixtape of the best of flat Earth music.
Oh, that's a great idea. I mean,
Oh,
you can
shit.
just take Mark Sargent's playlist, since he takes all of our videos.
Yeah. Just thought of that as you said that. That would be something to give better than $1, and it would probably cost less than $1.
Okay, so I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna, let's see here. And I'm gonna get into this. And I got a great idea. I'm gonna stand outside with a bucket of fucks and a sign saying "none given." I like your idea though. No, seriously, that's a genius idea. I'm gonna do that. Unfortunately, I might get arrested, so I'm gonna have to tone it down a little bit and brush up on my law. I'm glad I just bought that law dictionary. So let's see here. I'm gonna go re-pour my drinky poo and pack one more bowl, and then I'm gonna get into what is the difference between a Jew, a Jesuit, and a Zionist. I'm sorry I always keep everyone waiting. I know I do that. I do it on purpose because I don't want any of you fucking pathetic ass stragglers who think that you can vulture off my fucking beautiful time and my life energy that I spent researching this. You think I'm just gonna give it to you for free? You think that's how it works? I mean, I am technically just giving it to you for free, but I make you wait. I make you wait purposely. Ooh, it's been almost 20. It's been fucking 23 minutes. It says it's a good number. Let's see here. Yeah, sorry for the delay. Let me go pour this real quick. One more pour and one more bong rip, and then I'm gonna get into this. Thank you for your patience and your attention. Be right back. Hang out.
Is everyone excited about this hangout tonight? I figured I'd show my face for a second instead of that ugly ass hangout picture. I know it's disgusting, but at least you'll remember it, right? What's up, Joey Silva? I see you in the chat. What's going on, people? I don't even know if half the people have forgotten about me. It seemed like I was on a good run there for a while, making videos every day, but I have to admit to my fellow flat earthers that I have sort of backed away from the banner of flat earth. Not that I've backed away from flat earth, but I've sort of taken a step away from the banner because those two words have been abused, and it's just, oh, flat earth has gone full retard. It has gone full retard, and there's just so many people poorly representing this movement.
Oh, wait, who's gone full retard?
Flat Earth has gone full retard. I was just telling people.
No,
That
don't
banner.
say,
No. All right, you missed.
no.
I'm not gonna. I'm not backpedaling.
Don't associate the flat Earth truth with the
No.
with the derpness that's going on in the awakening.
You missed the precursor. I'm not. If you heard the first part of what I said was, I'm not backing away from flat Earth. I'm backing away from the banner, meaning those two words have become so poorly represented that I have to back. I'm still with my flat earthers. I still represent flat Earth, but those two words, the banner of flat Earth, I have to sort of. It's flat Earth as those two words as represented as a corporation or whatever it's become now has gone full retard, but not the essence of flat Earth. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. All right, well, let's take a cheers to that. Cheers. Thanks for hopping on, and you're all tired after your fucking working construction, working for your fucking trying to get some money, trying to, fucking, trying to
Yeah,
fucking
man.
get some bread on the table.
Basically, man. I feel like Stretch Armstrong today, but I wasn't gonna do anything. But I saw you having a hangout, and I said I would drop by and show some support. It's good for my spirit too, so it's better than
No, it's
just
good for
laying
my
around.
spirit too. So if it wasn't for you, I would probably be a little bit more venom in my voice. Have that venom in the voice? You know what I mean?
Yes, I've heard it.
Yes, I've heard it. He's like, I feel like I need to apologize for something.
I think I remember when you
No,
said when you first said Flarethan. I mean, I could be mistaken, but I remember the birth of it, and you had been drinking that night, so it was like when you're not thinking about anything you're saying, and you were on a rant, and you were like, "I've been doing this for so long. I've been flirting, and that's how I knew that it came from. It was just synapses, just
that's
bouncing
where.
off each other, and that's when I knew it was like flirting. And that's when I was like, oh, that's fucking brilliant. So yeah, so I recall some of your drunk rants in there. They're fucking great. So never edit oneself.
Yeah, those are. I mean, I'll probably go back in like 2 or 3 years, and I'll go, God damn it, man! What a fucking asshole I was. Was that really necessary? But maybe I'll be even
Maybe it
worse
was.
than fucking. Maybe I'll be even worse.
Yeah, whatever. No regrets. No regrets on Flat Earth.
Exactly. Perfect. So here goes. Now here goes, folks. Now it's about to get interesting. Buckle your seatbelt, folks, because the gravity's about to get sucked out of the room. Okay. Aw. Yo, Felix, that was one of the most. I haven't. I haven't watched that all one in a long time, but that was a classic moment in the history of the Subgenius. I can't wait. Yo, Joey Style, what's going on, dude? Joey Styles or Style. But here goes. I gotta get into this. So here goes. Could you see this hang now?
Yes, I can. I was just muting myself. I can see it.
All right, cool, perfect. All right, so this is the group exposing the Rothschilds. I asked that question in this group. I'm going to read it off to you. I'll read off to you this one, which is a very similar question, and then I'll read off to you this one, which is the same exact question as the first one, and but this is in a much more pseudo-intellectual crowd. Fans, you know, just like the Terrence McKenna fans and the Alan Watts fans, they think that they're more intelligent than the rest of the crowd, than the rest of the people. So they have this pseudo, like, I'm a Robert Anton Wilson or Alan Watts, Terrence McKenna fan. Like, you don't even know who they are or study their work. You know, I'm obviously more astute and studied than you are, prominent in my research. And, you know, I mean, I was, well, no, I was never that bad. Jesus, that's just ridiculous. But I've been trying to spread the word about these people, not try to be a fucking dick. Just trying to put them in my work and in my stuff and in my videos and with and just always some of my best videos are with their names in it. And so it's interesting when you share these questions in these types of groups and you get an answer from these types of crowds instead of these types of crowds. And then this is, of course, my group, the League of Extraordinary Flat Earthers, and you'll see the response that I got in my group. So let's see here. First, we'll go to exposing. Oh, dude, this better be this. Okay, good. So this was. So this is October 22nd. This is 3 days ago. Okay. So here goes, everyone. I'm just going to read. I'm going to read off to this all very quickly. And I don't respond to many of these people. I barely responded to any of them. Only a few that had very good answers. So I'm not going to even bother answering you if you don't have a good answer. That's how I do a lot of things in my life. I'm not gonna. If you don't have a good answer, you're not worth my time. Show me what you got. So let's see here. Simple as this, folks. And this is probably where I'll start my video when I upload this, and it'll be called what's the difference between a Zionist, a Jew, and a Jesuit? In your own words. Okay, not in Wikipedia says it's this, and that the Freemason Bible says this, and the regular Bible says that, and the King James Bible says this. No, in your own words, what's the difference between a Zionist, a Jew, and a Jesuit? Here goes, folks. The spelling? Nothing. I thought you were going to tell us a joke. Many things. A Zionist is a Jew's, and a Jewish is not necessarily a Zionist. Matter of fact, the Orthodox Palestinian Jews are hurt by Zionists more than other Palestinians from other beliefs because they are seen as cheaters. Matter of fact, the Orthodox Palestinian Jews are hurt by Zionists more than other Palestinians from other beliefs. I mean, it's just a total mindfuck. Hold on, I'm going to keep going with this, folks, obviously. Because they are seen as cheaters. Yes, a lot of people, those dirty sand or towel heads, you know, get all those fucking racial slurs. You got those towel heads, god damn it. Fucking Jews believe in Torah. Well, that's not all Jews believe in Torah, although that could be. It's like totally. There's like an Orthodox Jew and a modern Jew, so there's still a difference between that, which I didn't even define, which I should. So I mean, that's my mistake right there. Zionists believe in Talmud. Okay, there's the Talmud and the Torah. These are the Jewish Bibles, Judaism. I mean, this is getting very deep here, folks. Torah says it's prohibited to have a Jewish state as a punishment for killing prophets. Talmud says you must have a Jewish state from river of Iraq. Oh shit, of Iraq to the river of Egypt, as the blue lines in Israel flag symbolize. Torah. I mean, I mean, I haven't even read all of these comments yet, so I'm doing this freaking live, and I'm learning as you are. I mean, you can see this, you can read this. Fucking read it before I can. I'm trying to interpret it myself. At the same time, understand it and say it to you. You don't like it? Go away. So let's see here. Torah says all people are equal. Talmud says Jews are chosen people. It's like the Old and the New Testament. It's fucking genius. Guess what? They're both on the same web. Torah says all people are equal. Talmud says Jews are chosen people and have right to enslave other races when their God comes down. Torah believe in God. Talmud believe in what so-called for Muslims the liar Jesus whom I'm sorry, I mean this guy is a real fucking like a probably a fucking I mean he lives in goddamn I can find out where he lives right there and where that is geographically and yeah he's obviously very astute and he lives there and he's a victim of it and knows it. He's lived it. This is someone who's lived it. Talmud believe in what so-called Muslims. I mean, this is hard. He's spelling this wrong here, but the liar, or maybe it is the liar Jesus, whom Jesus will kill in the very near future. What the fuck does that mean? And Christians call him Antichrist, and Zionists call him the King Hamishka, and son of Lucifer, god of big heads of Freemason as Rothschilds and Rockefeller and Bush. Okay. This person says, I mean, that was very weird, but the beginning was good. It's not weird. It's factual. Sorry for saying that. I apologize. This person doesn't give a fuck. Zionist equals poo-poo. Poo emoji. A few good Jews, the ones that ditched that evil religion. Zionists just want to cheat you into poverty. Jesuits are total freaks. Whew, man, people have some true in a nutshell. So the good Jews are the ones that ditch that evil religion. So the good Jews are the. I mean, this is. Do you realize that we're going down a deep rabbit hole, people? Zionists just want to cheat you into poverty. Jesuits are total freaks. So aren't people that want to cheat you into poverty total freaks? So I mean, you're insinuating that Zionists and Jesuits are the same. Ah, God. You see what I mean, people? The Jesuits killed Kennedy. Judaism. Oh, this is John G. Bigo. Judaism is not Zionism. He is a Jew. The man getting dragged, the Orthodox Jew. He is a Zionist, the man that works for the government of Israel, dragging this man away. Let's see here. Global Jesuit assistances. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, bop, bop. Flat. Firmament. We got the New Age movement. Got those goddamn Masons. Club of Rome. Council of Foreign Relations. God damn it. God damn it. So let's see here. Zionism is a political entity. Not all Zionists are Jewish, and not all Jews are Zionists. One is the son of Zionism. What? All suck. Oh, God. Unfortunately, this is true. I'm not talking shit. Are you being serious? Please research. Are you trying to evoke a fight? Y'all want a Facebook scrap. This is research. Seeing everyone's clueless answers. Do you see what I mean? I'm doing my research, and you're going to ask me, please research? What are you talking about? I'm asking a question that's doing the research, and you're telling me to do my research. It's fucking incredible. So let's see here. You got any gum? So let's see here. One starts with Z. The others both start with J, but that's the difference. Okay. There are moderate Jews. I like them. Zionists. Oh God. Jesuits are a type of occult CIA. Jews are some people just trying to allow. Sorry. Jews are some people just trying to follow a belief, and the others are just extremists and bring harm to the world. Okay? Zionists are evil. The spelling. I presume Jew equals Israelites equals Syrians. All else are a bunch of land thieves. Not much at all. Nobody knows jack shit. That's me. That's good old me coming in there, and I'll like my own comment. They are all led by a black pope, the second to the devil. Zionists work for the Jews, or Zionists work for the Jesuits. See? So now the Zionists work for the Jesuits. Jews, on the other hand, represent a broad spectrum of people, and many are not part of the Jesuit conspiracy. So now the Zionists work for the Jews. Or sorry. Jesuits. Oh boy. Full text of Douglas Reed, The Controversy of Zion. I'm gonna be a lion in Zion. I'm gonna be a lion. Or else I'm gonna be a iron like a lion in Zion. He's fucking. What happened to old Bob, folks? They're always trying to get rid of old Bob. You can't get rid of Bob, no matter how many times you assassinate Bob. He always comes back. He always hides himself in other Bobs and other people. Praise Bob. So let's see here. I mean, this is a very fucking. I'm kind of getting sick of reading these goddamn. How about. How much longer do we got here? I mean, this sparked a lot of outrage for many days. I didn't say a goddamn word. I just let everyone fucking look. The only thing I say, I'm just throwing gasoline on the fire. I said, look at these comments. These people are just going crazy. I asked a question. What's going on here? You see how crazy? I got everyone in a stir. And I'm not doing it with dramatics. Okay, that's how much it is. You trying to evoke a fight? No. Evoking a fight would mean talking about Antonio and Patricia. That would evoke a fight. But I'm staying on my own side, doing my own thing, exposing the Rothschilds.
Hey Dan.
What?
I noticed something. I got to point this out to you. I don't know if you noticed this, because I was following along and I went on Facebook and because I wanted to, actually go on the page and explore it myself, whatever. So I typed in "exposing the Rothschilds" on Facebook as for groups. I noticed that there is a few other groups, and there's one called specifically. It's called "Exposing the Rothschilds," but in parentheses it says "Flat Earthers Not Welcomed." That's the name of the group. Did you see that yet?
Yeah, that's because people. I mean, all the flat earthers are in all the groups now, and mostly because I mean, we all just invite one another, and I've done that. I've done a very good job of that, and
Right.
so well, I'm still in this group because I do my stuff very casually, and I do it on the off the radar, and I don't. I'll stir the boat. I'll stir the plane when I want to, and it's very easy to do, especially in the fucking Robert Anton Wilson's group, and like the Church of the Subgenius group.
But why would
Like
they have
they're
it's a different group. Like, obviously flat earthers are still welcome in the group that you're showing right now. Why would there be a splinter group and
because
there's
it's
specific?
not. There's no flat Earth material allowed in that group. That's pure shell
Wow.
group. Oh
Wow.
yeah. Oh yeah. There's like almost 200,000 people in the group. Yeah, there's hundreds of millions of flat earthers.
So it's okay to talk about the Rothschild but but then they're basically censoring flat Earth truth. That's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, absolutely, unbelievably. They're cracking down actually, like hardcore. There's a lot of channels that have been taken down, like like the hardcore flat earthers, like ODD and shit like that.
That's bananas.
But isn't this conversation interesting? And I'm barely a fourth of the way through it.
Yeah, keep going. I just had to point that out.
Oh no, thank you. So let's see here. Oh Jesus, fuck me in the goat ass. Zionists believe that they are chosen to rule the world, the hand of God, so to speak. Many believe this God to be reptilian or Anunnaki. They hide behind a race called the Jews. Interesting. To attack the Zionists, you are anti-Semitic. According to Douglas Reed in The Controversy of Zion, when Judah accepted the one God belief of the Egyptians that the Judeans were the chosen ones, the Israelites kicked them out. The tribe of Judea is where Zionism was born out of. The original Hebrews were nomads, so the state of Israel is a charade, yeah, obviously, to hide the more sinister global or elite cabal, elite global cabal, keyword global, that globalists, that's what they are. This sinister elite cabal equals globalists that follow the protocols of Zionism, which is, I believe, written by Albert Pike or apparently Douglas Reed. Which claim they are the rulers of the world, and we are cattle. The Jesuits are the masters of chaos, used to further. Okay, well that makes sense. One world order out of chaos. We are led to believe that they will save us from the chaos. Yeah, hold on one sec. Getting a phone call. Yo, what's up, dude? No, I'm about to fucking reboot that shit and get ready for the Lakers game actually. After I break down the differences between Zionism, Judaism, and the Jesuits. Takes a long time. Sometimes people takes years to look into these things. In my country, we have problem. No, none of them are, except for Joe Fam. Yeah. Yeah, no. So I just got sick of playing pretend, and I'm like, yeah, you guys keep fucking talking your shit behind my back, and if you get the nerve, I'll be. Well, that's the thing. You're gonna be. I'll give you a chance when you're in a whole room gathered to come see me, and I'm talking shit to your faces, and I've been saying, come on, guys, you have a chance. You can. You've had a chance every time, and now I'm gonna say it, and you're gonna come see me. I know that's the way it's gonna happen. Your combined voices isn't gonna shut me up. Well, I mean, I haven't even responded in the past hour. I haven't even looked at it. Oh yeah, I don't take the bait too easily. Sorry about that. I mean, I got people calling me. I got people. I'm in the West Coast. I'm on the West Coast side, and I got people in the East Coast side always talking shit about me too. So I mean, that's in New York. You got people talking about me. All the comedians, all the local Buffalo comedians, talking about me in Buffalo, and friends and family, obviously, I mean, people that have made me the godfather of their children don't talk to me anymore because I am a flat earther. And now I'm in the West Coast, and I've already talked and seen and performed in front of the best comedians here in San Diego, and been complimented by them too. And they told me that I give that my passion is inspiring to them, and that's coming from someone who I revered as the best comedian in San Diego. And yeah, he came up to me after the show and said that to me, and I was like, holy shit. He's like one of the only comedians that I fucking respect here in San Diego, and he said that to me. That's not a coincidence, folks. But let's see here. I'll check my text messages real quickly. Oh, sweet. Okay, so let's get back to this fucking shiza. Type 1111 if you're having a good time. So let's see here. I'm gonna check the fucking chat room real quick. Oh. Chat room is not popping. We got 10 people watching. Chat room is a little bit scared, a little bit passive. So let's see here. Felix says, I thought the Jesuits are Catholics. She is correct. We will get into that, Felix. Hold your horses. So let's see here. Crown of Sunshine says, pardon me. She doesn't say that. Well, she might say pardon me, but she doesn't burp like that. And, well, she does burp like that, but not on camera. So let's see here. Some of my family are Jews. They are neither Zionist or Jesuits. Some more clarification from Crown of Sunshine. So it's very helpful. Thank you there, Crown. You just said fuck off, so you just got put in timeout, bitch. So let's see here. Sorry, Hangnail, for keeping you fucking waiting. My buddy's gonna call back, but I'm gonna ignore that and I'm gonna keep reading. Get down to the nitty gritty. Let's see here. Yeah, because I gotta read this really quickly. Actually, I want to get out of here in like 10 minutes. So let's see here. Sorry, I want to get. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. It's only like 100 comments. Come on, Dan. All right. So we are led to believe the Jesuits. They're talking. Or sorry, the Zionists. We are led to believe that they will save us from the chaos by giving away our human rights for their protection. It's a fucking racket funded by their banksters. Yep. The same families have been pulling the shit for thousands of years. It's a good answer there. I would have liked that one. Let's see here. This person, yeah. A true Jew is of the tree of DNA of the tribe of Judah. All others are false and crypto. Wow. That person seems very serious. About 33 cents. It's fucking hilarious. Wow. This person said devil's pet, and devil's pet. That's fucking crazy. Oh boy. Let's see here. Ever wonder why the world is so diabolically evil? Meet the man that plans it all that way. Black Pope Adolfo Nicholas, the most powerful man in the world, behind the plan for the old world order. Superior Jesuit general of the Black Pope. 6 generals control the White Pope and the Vatican, the entire Israel. It's funny because the Roman Catholic Church, the Vatican, is which is controlled by the Jesuits, is what raised me. I went to religion for 4 years, got my communion and confirmation, and boy was I not paying attention and laughing at how much bullshit the priests and nuns, how much bullshit was coming out of their fucking mouths. I guess that really woke me up. So I must thank the Roman Catholic Church for being such eye-openers at such a young age. Luckily, I wasn't putting a blindfold on and sucking stuff out of a pipe to get money. And let's see here. Zionist Global Council Fund. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this shit. So that's the Jesuits control the Knights Templar, Knights Columbus, Knights of Malta. I'm not trying to get into the Freemason stuff, but you can't avoid it. Isn't that strange, peeps? And these are all the alphabet agencies here. Just helping you out real quick. Helping you out, making sure you're studied up. Okay, we're all studied up there. Tyler Logan says, and he quoted this person, do you know the difference? I will like that. Not all believe in man-made religions. No idea. Laugh out loud. I will like that. Not all Jews are behind the Zionists and Jesuits. Okay. And no one should be judged by what system they are born into. That's a very profound statement there. No one should be judged by what system they are born into. It's a very profound statement right there. I'm actually going to copy that. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Chris. So let's see here. One believes in damnation, one believes in salvation, and one believes in domination. Ooh, wow. That was a good one. And I came in here to lighten the fire. Look at these comments. You gotta laugh at everyone and say, look at these comments, because no one has a fucking clue of what the fuck is going on here. And I just have this. I'm just giving them and their friend. I'm just giving the world their friendly reminder. I mean, that's why you don't want to talk to me. I know that's why you don't want to talk to me. I know that's why you don't want to talk to me, because I give you a friendly reminder of what you don't know and what I don't know. I do it to myself every day. So I'm used to this and it doesn't bother me. But it bothers you because you don't put yourself through the damnation. You don't have to suffer. That's a choice. Everyone has suffering and pain. But you can turn that off. There's always the suffering and pain. It's always going to be there. But you're not your past, and you're not your suffering and your pain. You're more than that. So let's go further. This person says, enlighten us then instead of laughing, pretending that you know shit. What is the difference in your own words? Well, it's a very good question. That's why I can give you a very good answer, and I will at the end of this whole thing. So I'm going to like that comment, and I will answer that person once I'm about halfway through the first fucking thread here, and this one's very short, and this one's short too, and this one's the shortest. This one is the first one we're on is the longest right now, so I'm sorry taking forever, but there's a lot of people. That was 180 comments that people were going crazy. So let's see here. Sounds like you are an ignorant fuck being aggregate when you can't be. I said I'm ignorant for asking a question. Now that's a new one. Like fucking, you're calling me ignorant for asking a question. Now that truly is a new one. Asking a question to try to find out the difference between something very important, and I'm ignorant. Okay. None. Theopolitical religious. If we were talking about Orthodox Jews following the Torah and speaking Hebrew instead of speaking Yiddish, following the Talmud. Not about Israelites who were black-skinned and Luciferian. Israelites, black-skinned and Luciferian. Okay. That's why I would say Jesus is black. Jesuits are the owners. Zionists are the CEOs. Jews are the foot soldiers. You see here? But I thought the Zionists controlled the Jesuits. But now it's the Jesuits who control the Zionists. You see where this is all going? I mean, if you don't, I'm spelling it out for you. So the Zionists are aesthetic Satanists under the guise of Judaism. Freemasons, the lords who run this country. Oh, Jesus. Zionists are ones who believe the factual claim. The factual claim. How do you have a factual claim? Okay. I thought a claim was like a claim. All right. Like a claim isn't factual. That's why it's called a claim. All right. We're just getting. Sorry. My brain is semanticing. The Zionists are the ones who believe the factual claim to Israel as the national homeland of the Israelites, and the legitimate focus for national Israelites' self-determination Jew is one of the tribes of Judah. Judaism is a false pagan religion, much like Christendom, created to pull away, control mass populations from the path of the way. Huh. It's very obtuse. Oven temperature. Oh, wow, that was no difference. All good people. All evil. You see what I mean? Here you go. Check out the two-faced deceit here. Oh, there's Albert Pike, like I talked about earlier. Oh boy. Right eye of Horus. The right eye of Horus and the left eye of Ra. It's quite interesting. Again, spelling. Jesuits are military and are a mystery Babylon cult with the beast Pope Francis as their king. Huh. They are not worth fearing. They're just sick. I am a brother to dragons and a companion to owls. It's pretty badass, actually. Let's see here. Sorry, this is really, I know. It's a lot to fucking take in, folks. I know. It's a heavy workload. I'm gonna need to pour another drink here and make this really quick because I have to get going here in another fucking 10 minutes. And yes, it's almost done. Not much longer, folks. Actually, the superior general runs the Jesuits. Jews are Zionists. See, Jews are Jews, Zionists are Zionists. See, now people are given. That's exactly where I probably got the title of this from. A Zionist, a Jew, and a Jesuit walk in the bar. Exactly. That's more than likely where I got this title from. All 3S for something cheap and non-GMO. Okay. Jesuit is. Okay, so then I got a Satan, parables of the two-faced liar. Do you know the parable of Jesus and Satan? What are you talking about? Both fictional. It's all coming out in droves. Truth be told, the elites are about themselves and not about we the people. Fuck yeah. You know exactly what I'm talking about, Jay. There's no difference. They're all devils. They're all Nazis gonna Nazi. And thanks. That was very helpful. Alright, so that was that. I'm going to close that off. Bop. Very quick now. See it? Very quick. It's the Jesuits and the Masons' fault. If I had a nickel every time I heard someone say that, and why does that feel and sound the same as it's the shape-shifting reptilians' fault? It's the It's the shapeshifters, reptilians' fault. It's the Mason. It's the Jesuits. No, the Jews are the workhorses, and the Jesuits are the mass. No, the Jesuits are. It's the Zionists. You dumb. Disinfo agents. I'll get people on this. Yep. Get disinfo agents. Get people on this to make them sound stupid. Exactly. We are kept in this strange, maddening state where we don't know what's real anymore. Well, not me. That's why I hold these little lectures and conventions for you, to clear and dispel the air, demystify things. It's not that hard. We can do it together. Hold my hand. Don't hold my hand. Hold my heart. Tug my heartstrings and pull those heartstrings. Oh, I'm just kidding. I totally pulled into a gay South Park moment there. Sorry. So let's see here. Did he just say gay South Park moment? Let's have a gay old time. So let's see here. All I have is see, it's good. It's a great answer. Consciousness is the weirdest fucking drive I've ever been on. Yeah, it really matters. It really does matter. So Eric here, who's maybe might be in the chat room, man, people in this community have Freemasonry all wrong. It's the Jews, it's the Masons, it's the Jesuits, it's the reptoids. Every conspiratard I know. So that's when I asked him that question when I was at, what's the difference between a Zionist, a Jew, and a Jesuit? Well, I could go into all the differences, but they seem to work toward the same goal, which is world government. What's your answer? Except for the Jew. The Jew is not necessarily a Zionist, and a Zionist is not always a Jew. You see how that's a repeated answer? Now, if you want to talk about the differences among Jews, it's a different conversation. I was kind of being a dick here. I said, laugh out loud, explain nothing, because I wanted him to go into it further. I asked because I wanted to know your answer. Answer when you have time. How's it explain nothing? These are different infrastructures of power. Let's forget the Jew because it doesn't play here. The Chalbad Lakuvik sect of Judaism, which is what is important. It is the business arm of the Jewish crime syndicate. They work with the Vatican Jesuits, who puts them together in the microcosm of how the Italian, that being the microcosm. You can't say certain things, folks. Let's be smart. They have always had an arrangement. I've found everyone keeps a couple of Jews, neither really trust each other completely, and other desires are the same. Oh, very good. I already liked it. Are you running a litmus test on me, cuz? Now that's better, I said. Still learning more. And will learn more. Exactly. I guess I do it too, but I feel like they're newbies. Yeah, exactly. Okay. By the way, it's my personal opinion that the Jesuit really runs the show. Oh, see, now the Jesuit runs the show. I thought it was the Zionist, though. So now it's his personal opinion that's the Jesuits. But I'm sure the Jew thinks he does. That's what I've come to understand. But there's a debate, and it really doesn't fucking matter. What's the difference? Well, it does fucking matter. You're the second person to say it doesn't fucking matter. It does fucking matter. What's the difference between a Jew and a Jesuit? Well, first, Jesuits are supposedly Gentile, but there's evidence that Jesuits are actually crypto-Jews who installed a secret society within the Vatican and still practice their Sabbatean actual sin. Started by a guy named Sabbatean. Right, well, it's quite fucking interesting. Thank you. And get rid of that. Now, how many more? Jesus! I can't do it. I mean, I really should. I gotta pour one more drink for this. This is fucking insanity. Now, these are people who think that they're very, very intelligent. These are Robert Anton Wilson fans group. Go ahead and join this group. Infiltrate it. Go ahead. It's fun. I've done it. They can't kick me out. I'm basically a fucking admin at this point. I know I'm friends with the fucking leaders of the Church of the Subgenius. You can't fuck with me. Go ahead and try. So, did you fall asleep? What's your face? Did he probably get out of here?
Who? Me?
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah,
no, no. I was honestly, I'm just here to chill and show support and make it easier for you somehow. But really, I just really showed up to just get out of your way and just kind of be here for just to make it easier for you. So to grease the wheels a little bit. Just in case, just so you have somebody to talk to.
absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna pour another drink because I'm gonna fucking blast this last fucking thread here. Because now these people think that they're even more intelligent than the last group that we just heard from. So, what do you think about that last group?
There's a lot of cerebral narcissism going on in there.
Isn't it insane?
Yeah, it is.
Everyone. No, it's them. It's them. It's them. It's them. It's them. I know. I know. I know. Oh my fucking god, dude! You don't know jack shit.
Exactly. See, that's one of the main problems altogether. Is too many people presenting opinions and beliefs as facts, and
Yep.
they can't integrate properly. You can't. Oh, it's because like you can't present an argument, a logical, rational argument, and insert your opinion or what you think or what you feel as a variable in that equation. It doesn't work that way. You can't. Oh well, this, and this is because of and I think this. Whoa, 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 whoa! Hit the brakes, motherfucker! You can't add a whole bunch of I think and no. That shit goes, or you feel, or your experience has been. All that shit has to go out the window when you're dealing with facts. And unfortunately,
And trying to
people,
discover some facts,
yeah, that's what this is all about.
or at
It's
least
just
um, some type of understanding. You know, uh, I don't even want to call it fact. Some sort of understanding.
or something closer to it, something that gives you a better grasp on the reality of it. I get that.
Yeah, thanks for the. I don't even care. 20, 10, fucking 30, 80. Although I'd like to have fucking 420 viewers. That'd be nice. But what can you do? You got to start off with 20, and then you'll get to 400. And if you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. So I'm gonna pour this drink, and I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm gonna blast through this last group of the Robert Anton Wilson fans' answers toward this very interesting question, and then I'm gonna shut this down and call it night. I'll be right
Copy.
back.
Sometimes when you do a hangout, it's just a matter of timing too. Like it's just a matter of when you do it. And these people are in different time zones and whatever. So still, you might get more views tomorrow. You know, like afterwards. It's all relative. But yeah, people presenting their beliefs as facts is just as futile as arguing for the dome or against the dome. It's just speculation. Well, Flat Earther Court, I'm hoping he's pouring himself a screwdriver, or orange juice and vodka. We'll see. We'll ask him when he gets back. But yeah, honestly, I have to walk away when I see arguments taking place over speculation. That's usually my cue to exit the debates or a conversation. It's just futile. I've heard people argue about what's beyond, Antarctica, and it's like, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, or unprovable shit, stuff that nobody has any knowledge of and cannot prove and has no experiment to prove. Yet they push forth certain ideas as facts. It's pointless.
Ooh, baby. Damn. I'm about to fucking take this to the living room.
So me and Flat Earth Accord were wondering what beverage of choice it is that you're making. I guess the screwdriver. So what is it?
You are incorrect, sir. It is a rum and Dr. Pepper.
Oh man, see that would have been. I would have said a rum and Coke would have been my second. Would have been my backup.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to drink Coke or I just stick with the weird, random ones that make me feel less guilty, like Dr. Pepper. Although I really don't drink. I try to stay away from the soda or the pop, and that's why I like to stick with my gin and juices and my juice drinks, because that makes me feel more healthy about my life with drinking organic spirits and organic juices.
There you go.
But I think I'm gonna migrate this into, oh shit. So if I migrate it into the other room, pardon me, because I really want to watch this Lakers game. It just started and there's a lot of shit talk between the fucking people on the other team, and I still have a smidgen bit of a tiny bit of emotional attachment to the globalist what's it called? They're little games that they play, and it usually involves the ball games, and so I have to alleviate the tensity and stress of exposing the globalists all day long by actually watching a globalist program. So it's quite a paradox, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I'm all about. If you join the School of Ultimate Mystery, you'll learn more about it. It's a church I just made. It's actually the sub-school. Well, that's what Antonio likes to say, but it's actually the real school. His church is the Church of the Ultimate Truth. That's Antonio Subaratz's church that he has founded. But he knows deep in his heart that my church, the Church of the Ultimate Mystery, was actually the church that created the Church of the Ultimate Truth. So he'll have to face those demons one day, and it will come. But I wish his religion well and his church well, and I really hope that people get. I mean, actually, technically, we're all in the Church of the Ultimate Truth. So there's not. I mean, you're either a member or you're not, and just like the Church of the Subgenius, you're either a member or you're not. But it's actually a real thing. If you pay $35, you'll get your instructions on what to do, on actually how to defeat globalism and turn the con game into a slack game, and then you get your slack back, and then you can just slack off and relax without being a conspirator. So it's quite interesting, quite well. I mean, globalists will make fun of you for not working, and they'll say, man, why don't you get a job and do something useful? And that's weird, because I've had many jobs and done many useful things in my life, and I'm probably a lot more than you, and I don't need to go into those accolades and little feats and certificates and things that I've done. And yeah, I mean, you don't. It's all out there. So I'm off topic. I'm off point. Oh, the ball sports. I'm listening into in the background. It's distracting me because I'm thinking about the score. And now I don't give a fuck about finishing this thread, but I'm going to. I'm going to go look at the score real quick, and I'll be right back. Oh, dude, I totally want to watch this fucking game with you guys. Alright, so, fuck. Alright, here goes. God damn it. Are you fucking serious? Alright, look at these pseudo-intellectuals. Alright, here goes. I'm gonna do this as fast as I fucking can. Alright, so I asked the same question in this group of people who think that they're more intelligent than normal people. Alright, first fucking response. For starters, Jesuits are Catholics. You remember, Felix? I told you I was going to get back to that. So, for starters, Jesuits are Catholics. There can be various definitions of what makes a person a Jew. By and large, it's someone whose mother was Jewish. Zionists, in my understanding, are people who support the existence of a Jewish state. Many Jews are not Zionists. Some Zionists, if I understand correctly, are not Jews. We've heard that many times before. No Jesuits. It's called a cross-referencing, people. Have you heard of it? Have you ever heard of a man named Sherlock Holmes? If you have, you probably should know what cross-referencing is. That's when you put this question in this group, and then in another group, and in another group, and then you're cross-referencing. Yeah, okay, good. So let's see here. What do you mean? That's like you're like trying to collect like actual empirical data and theorems, Dan, like collective hypothesis that actually create a theory. What are you doing, dude? What the fuck, man? Like, are you like, do you know psychology or some sort of like psychology law? Like, what are you trying to do? What the fuck, dude? Oh, yeah, apparently I do. This is quite natural. Fucking ignorant pieces of shit. Make fun of me and for fucking asking questions that you're too ignorant to know about, or too lazy to research yourself, or too scared to put yourself out there. Fucking piece of shit. Let's see here. Some Zionists, if I understand correctly, are not Jews. Obviously, no Jesuits are Jews, unless I suppose they're Jewish people who converted to Catholicism and then became Jesuit priests. Or were you looking for a punchline of a joke? See, that was a good answer, and that's why I respond to him. It's the first answer, and actually, it was a good answer. And see how much of a I mean, that's the first answer you get in this group. It's a very, So I quoted him, for starters, Jesuits are Catholics. And I told him, I got my communion and confirmation with the Catholic Church. By that logic, that makes me a Jesuit. You see the problem there? So, I mean, it was a very good answer, and I liked it, but there's something wrong there. He said, he said that Jesuits are Catholics. Like I said. So you're not aware that, so he thinks that I'm not aware that the Catholics are a subset of the Jesuit Church. Okay. So, let's see here. This person, well, except for converts, no ethnic Jews are Catholics, so the sets do not overlap. see, hang now, it gets a little interesting. Once a convert, they are no longer a Jew in a religious sense. Zionists do not even have to be Jews to support the nation of Israel's existence. Yeah, Jews are a subset of Catholics, but all Jews are Catholics. Come on now. No, Daniel, that's not what he said. What? Red is a color. Okay. Okay, well, I'm not even gonna fucking read that garbage. Oh, someone needs to go to logic school. Oh, do they teach this in logic school, guys? I don't know if they. Did you ever hear of anything? I mean, did you ever hear of anything like this in logic school? See, here's the thing. This guy says this is the same guy that argues his points on flat Earth in vapid, snarky memes. You're not going to get much here. Well, that's strange because you know who I am, Jason. I don't know who you are. See, like, I post in this group, and you know I'm the flat Earth guy. That's the thing, Jason. You know I'm the flat Earth guy, and so you have to go, well, he's got to put some vapid, snarky memes. Okay, that's like almost a compliment. So all Jesuits are Catholic, huh? Yes, all Jesuits are Catholic. You're not very intelligent man, are you? Okay. So all Jesuits are Catholic now, Christian. We've figured that out, okay? See, isn't this a very interesting see how I'm more involved in this thread compared to the last one? Because these people seem to know what they're talking about a little bit more. So I have to come in and say, oh, all Jesuits are Catholic, huh? Oh, this is new. Oh, I have to. I of course, again, I'm going to throw more gas in the fire. This is rich. Nobody knows jack shit. Again. So let's see here. So all Jesuits are Catholic. To be a member of the Catholic Order of Jesuits, one must be Catholic. Oh, okay, good. So that means I have a chance to be a Masonic, a Jesuit Mason. Oh, okay. Because you got to remember that the Jesuit Masonry is different than the other types of Masonry. And now, I told you I didn't want to get into Masonry. That's the first time I mentioned it this entire time, folks. Deliberately. So let's see here. One must be Catholic. Good. That's interesting because I know a lot of Masons, and I call out. I can actually recognize people who are Masons and who are hiding it from me because I get the sniff. I sniff it out. I go, it smells like a Mason. And then I ask him, hey, are you a Mason? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, what lodge? And he's like, oh, this one. Or he acts like he knows something that I don't, and he tries to be all secretive, and it's like, oh, okay, go fuck off. So let's see here. So I simply said, what's a Zionist? See, all Jesuits are Catholic. All Catholics are members of the Jesuit order. So that means that I'm a member of the Jesuit order. by this person's logic. Let's see here. What's a Zionist? That's what I said. A person who follows the political ideology called Zionism, which is a belief in the establishment of a homeland for the Jews. Yeah. So what's the difference between Christians and Catholicism? That's what I asked. What's the difference between Christians and Catholicism? So why aren't all Zionists Jews? That's what I asked again. So if the Zionists are the ones in control, then that would insinuate, in my opinion, they would all be collectively a shared race, or a wandering tribe pretending to be a race, which is what they are, if you know anything about them. But anyways, I digress. So let's see here. So the difference between Christians and Catholicism is that a Christian could be any number of denominations. They could be Protestant, Baptist, Quaker, or a Catholic, for example. I.e., all Catholics are Christians. Not all Christians are Catholics. Is this starting to sound a little bit familiar, Hang Now?
Yep.
Is this starting to sound a little bit familiar?
Absolutely.
Not all Zionists are Jews, as anyone, regardless of ethnicity or religious affiliation or lack thereof, could quite easily support the concept of a Jewish homeland. Huh. Okay, so thank you for answering. I could ask 100 more questions, but my point has been made. You see how I'm being very nice and cordial? I'm just coming in and throwing a little salt on the lemon sauce and walking away. But, let's see here. And then I come back in. Oh, this person says, what was your point? So I said, it's completely ridiculous when you ask simple questions and start breaking things down and learning the petty differences. Look at everyone's answers. It's bonkersville. That was my point. That's my point. to expose people's ignorance, to expose large groups of people to their own ignorance, and to take that steaming pile of egoic shit and ram it down your fucking dumb throat and shove it up your nose and your ass. So let's see here. Let's see. I'd suggest that no Catholic is Christian, given the see. But I thought that all Christians see. Oh God. Let's see here.
You don't have to be a Jew to be a Zionist.
No.
No, there's Christian Zionism, Muslim Zionism, Hindu support for Zionism. There's also anti-Zionism.
Did you know that there's yeah, exactly, dude, exactly. And did you know that there's fuck you have a great point. And oh, did you know that there's Christian atheists and Muslim atheists and Catholic atheists and Jewish atheists? Isn't that interesting?
Wow.
Isn't that?
Yeah, that's and that's almost as confusing as Jews for Jesus. I never could get that one either. That one, and I've seen with the Star of David with the cross in the middle. That to me, I never really could grasp that.
Want to know something even more coincidental? Is that all of these people are teachers and lawyers and policemen and women and globalists and order followers and statists and atheists and evolutionists and Darwinists and materialists and dualists. And isn't that interesting how it all correlates to the same fucking religious mind wash, brainwashing program, globalism system, Stockholm syndrome that we have going on here for the past fucking 4,000 years?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think
maybe I'm not one of the only people that noticed it.
I think the key element there is ism.
Exactly.
It's that ism. It's kind of like it rhymes with jism, but it's still an it's still an ism. It's an ism, and that's doesn't sound good.
Oh, this is tiring, isn't it, dude?
I guess it depends on what part of the day.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna finish it off like a fucking cordial gentleman, like a fucking. I mean, I only have to speak for another 5-10 minutes to close the coffin on this fucking grave. So let's see here. Okay, well here goes. I said it's Bonkersville. Look at everyone's answers. Oh boy. Now they start just getting really stupid. Wow. Okay, so this person just said recently, Daniel Falkenbach, no, it makes you Catholic. If you chose to become a priest in the Jesuit order after communion, that would make you a Jesuit. Membership, voluntary membership. Okay, well, that clears things up a little bit. Thank you, Nate. I like that comment. Yeah, thanks, bruh. So let's see here. I mean, I'm really at a loss here. Are you proposing that Jews... oh boy. See, now someone's starting to think a little bit. Let's see. Are you proposing that Jews, Zionists, and Jesuits are somehow part of the same project? I can assure you that you're mistaken, he says. The Catholic Church pretty much invented anti-Semitism. Most Jews are wary of that situation. At the very least, Catholics are also not favored by the state of Israel. Huh. I smell a bit of bullshit. I smell a large whiff of it, actually. In fact, in a landmark case. Huh. Actually denied citizenship to an individual of Jewish descent who had become a Catholic monk. Okay. A couple of letters. I'm sure Zionists hold tight to the idea that Jerusalem, Israel, are the Holy Land that belongs to them. So, again, this person's insinuating with Zionists term control. God. While a lot of other Orthodox Jews and their sects believe otherwise. So, the Orthodox Jews think the The, the Orthodox Jews think that they're in control. The modern Jews, which are basically the Zionists, think that they're in control. And the Jesuits think that they're in control. Zionism is more of a political stance. Many Orthodox Jews. Okay. See, this is a little bit better than the fucking previous group. A little bit more intelligence and salt and pepper added to these comments. I'm getting a little bored of this. Rastafarians are Zionists. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm done reading this one. Gnosticism increases as you follow the list. Next would probably be mystical Christians, Sufi Muslims, then Kabbalists. Oh, Jesus. Tap dancing Christ on ice skates. Only two of them can be Pope. That's a good answer. People who believe the kingdom of heaven is able to be conquered on earth. What? Oh, okay. Oh, jeez. Your mom, really? An oath to which oath they take when pledging to a secret society. Again, nobody knows jack shit. I actually met that fucker in the desert, and you're right. I don't really know jack shit, but we are acquaintances. Oh, so he met jack shit. Well, good for you. So let's see here. This person admits defeat and says, fuck you. He says, fuck you. And I said, exactly. And you don't need to rub it in. You just got to say exactly. Oh boy. A Zionist is a corrupt Jew or non-Jew that practice Kabbalah in some way. And a Jesuit is the highest form. A Jesuit is the highest form of Christianity. Oh boy. Look at these answers. A Zionist, a Jew, and a Jesuit walk in the bar. And the bartender asks, is this some sort of joke? Apparently that is some sort of joke. This is like a 100 monkey effect here. Because they said that in the other fucking group too. That's obviously why I made the title of this hangout that title. It's like some sort of joke in the ether that's trying to be solved, or at least have a punchline to. Let me guess. You don't hate Jesuits? What the fuck does that even mean? A Zionist is a person. Costume. A Zionist is a person that believes Israel has a God-mandated right to exist. A Jew is a practitioner of Judaism, and a Jesuit is some property or poperty shit. Pretty decent. They all believe in magic. Who cares? They're dumb. I'm not even going to read these comments because anyone who doesn't have some sort of hope in magic, then, I mean, you have to have. Have you ever witnessed true magic? I've witnessed true magic, Paul. So I've also witnessed true terror and horror. But yeah, magic is real. Holy shit, OP is stupid. Yeah, I sure am. Sounds like the start of a bad off-color joke. Good old Pope Bob. Who the fuck let all the bros in here? Blood alcohol content. I don't know. I'm happy with folks defining themselves unless they are harshing my buzz. Oh Jesus. I am a secular, non-Zionist Jewish woman. Okay. I have been raised in a culturally Jewish home without the religious aspects. I do not believe I have some right to the land of Israel. Jesuits, however, I cannot explain. So this Jewish person, that is a non-Zionist Jewish woman who has been raised in a culturally Jewish home, she does not believe that she has the right to the land of Israel. But Jesuits, however, she cannot explain. Very nice. Thank you. Blame the Jews. Jesuits are smart guys with sadomasochistic sadomasochistic tendencies who have taken a vow of chastity so they get to keep their job. Beating little kids out, they're doing dynamite colleagues though. Pork pies? No. No, I'm not gonna look into that. A Zionist is someone who believes in a Jewish homeland in Israel. A Jew is a member of. Is this Christian? Is this starting to become clearer to you?
A little bit. A little bit.
You,
What?
under,
Which what?
you understand the point of this hangout now?
Yeah, I think I get it now. No one fucking knows. That's kind of the point of it. People are just blowing a bunch of hot air around.
Let's see here.
It
Well,
seems.
I mean, there's cold air, there's warm air, there's hot air, there's really pleasurable air, and there's really stinky, dirty air. Let's see here. A person. Almost done here. We're literally got 5 minutes left here, folks. Sorry for fucking. This is something that you're gonna need to look into. I just did you a fucking favor by doing it myself in a matter of a 2-hour span. Something that would take you possibly, I don't know. I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to insult your intelligence. A Zionist is I mean, there's probably barely even 10 people watching this at this point. A lot of people don't like to learn things, Christian. They don't like to even admit to be watching somebody else's channel with different views and who asks very particular and specific questions. They don't like to be involved in those types of things. It's a satanic question asking, trying to get info and data and cross-referencing between different groups of people and so-called scientists and pseudo-intellectuals and pseudo-scientists. That's a very satanic question, right?
And I don't know who would even think like that. I get excited when I saw the title of the hangout. I was like, shit, I'm in. I was more excited that you were doing a hangout about learning something instead of jumping in on all the drama that's going on. So I have to commend you for that. So anybody that's repelled by this, look at it as a filter, a litmus test. Anyway, anyone who doesn't want to learn, they're a fucking idiot.
Exactly, dude. Let's see here. So we're almost done with this, folks. About 5 minutes left here. My voice is going. No, that's quite fine. A Zionist is someone who believes in a Jewish. Okay, that's good. Okay, hold on. See, a Zionist is someone who believes in a Jewish homeland in Israel. A Jew is a member of a particular culture and ethnicity. It's what the person thinks. A Jesuit is a suborder of the Catholic Church. Remember, Felix? So let's see here. Oh boy, Zionists prefer girls. Jesuits prefer boys. Wow, that is a deep statement. I'm gonna give him a wow there. I don't give a wow. I don't give away wows easily. I give away a wow about maybe once every 2 months. Let's see here. What's the difference between a Christian, a white person, and a Nazi? In your own words. Very good question. Very good question. I mean, you can make a fucking the next hangout about that. This person says semantics, which is quite yeah. Let's see here. Precisely. I gotta like all these. I don't give a shit. Make fun of me. Like you think you're trying to get one over on me or make me look stupid. That's the whole point of why I expose my own ignorance. Because I become more intelligent. I increase my intelligence. It's called I squared. It's a theory that you might, it's not a theory, it's something that you need to look into. Something that you need to do for yourself. I squared. Intelligence in studying intelligence. Intelligence observing intelligence. And when that intelligence is witnessing and observing intelligence, it increases its intelligence. I squared. A Christian is brainwashed from birth. A white person is birthed. A Nazi is a closeted homosexual finding. All right, that's a little much. All right, let's see here. Almost done with this shit. They're all class traitors. Oh boy. Whew. I'm almost done with this, Dan. You can get through this. Simple. A Zionist believes in the country. By the way, if I suddenly disappear, I did not commit suicide, and you know what happened. Let's see here. Simple. A Zionist believes in a country. A Zionist believes in the country of Zion of Israel's right to exist. Religion can be a factor. A Jew is a member of a Jewish religion. See, but oh god, it makes me sick to read people's opinions sometimes. Like, I don't view people's opinions as equal. More or less, I view everyone as equals. But do I view their opinions as equal? Dear God. I enjoy Christian's opinions, which is why I let him come on. And more or less, I've let a lot of people come on, and I've called out a lot of people. And I've let trolls come on and snipe me and take over my own channel. And that's all they can do. So I let them come on and voice their opinion, and they have nothing. They don't got jack shit. And so they have to come over and kick everyone out of my hangout and then close it out. Because that's all they have. They don't have anything else. They don't have an audience. Their audience is a group of brainwashed globe heads, globe zombies, globe trotters, globalists. That's not a hard audience to secure, folks. That's like it's like killing fish in a barrel. You know how easy it would be for me to become famous if I wanted to do that? Jesus, tap dancing Christ. I would just start calling out the richest people in the world starting tonight. I'd call out Donald Trump, and I'd call out the Secret Service, and I'd call out the Men in Black, and I'd call out the Freemasons and the Illuminati, and I'd call out all the globehead comedians in the world, and I'd call out all the flat earth supposed scientists and everyone in the flat earth community. I'd call out everyone. I can get even more specific, but I won't, because I'll spare you. So yeah, eat your popcorn, folks. Make sure you fucking butter it with a GMO butter too. I'm being gentle. I'm being fucking nice to you. It's insane, dude. Like they say kindness kills, so I guess I'll be as kind as this is me being very ungodly kind. Like I'm literally like almost being fake, being kind now, because that's how like nice I'm trying to be. Because I can just tear into you. I can rip your soul out of your body, and then show it to you. And then just by seeing your own soul, you'll disintegrate and incinerate, and you won't exist anymore. But me going and trying to follow the path of kindness lately, I don't want to do that to you, okay? So I'll spare you. Let's finish this off. Jews are hilarious. Zionists are not hilarious. Jesuits are neither. See, now that's a beautiful fucking answer. Perfect segue right there. Two are subsets of religious groups. One is not. One is responsible for the forced coercion, torture, murder, and exile of the other two. Isn't that quite an interesting answer there? No likes. I like that answer. It's a shame you got no likes. You got 11 replies. Certainly triggered some people there. Ah, there we go. There are atheist Jews, remember, Christian, and atheist Israelis. Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. People you don't even know these types of things exist. Did you know that there are Spanish Native Americans and Native American Mexicans and Mexican Native Americans? See, there's also black Native Americans.
This is true.
Wait, so there's Mexican Native Americans and Native American Mexicans. And there's also black and white Indians. Wait a minute. And there's Christians and Catholics and Nazis. What's the difference between those three? What's the difference between the Jesuit, the Jesuit, the Jew, and the And this is, by the way, in the history of the world, in the world, no individual hangout has said these 3 words more than I have this hangout. Just for a friendly reminder for you out there keeping track. So let's see here. Isn't that something? Would you look at that? Would you just look at it? Would you just look at it? Just look at it. Fuck you, it's magic. Doctor Strange appearance. Fuck yeah, I gotta like that. Doctor Strange is a legend. Let's see here. Alright, how much longer? Fuck, it's not much more. Oh my god, no. Okay, that's the last bit of it. I'll start from here. Alright, it's nothing. I'm not reading this. Garbage, some people say. Okay, some people feel that they have the right to steal land. Some people feel that they have the right to make laws. Some people feel they have the right to conduct the Spanish Inquisition. Alright, that's a decent answer. Oh, this person says, in your own words is a terrible punchline. You're a fucking dolt. So let's see here. So a Zionist, a Jew, and a Jesuit, and a skeleton walk in the bar. The skeleton tells the bartender to give me a pitcher of beer and a mop. Oh, fuck me. Oh boy. This is usually where I enjoy reminding people that for all his delightful heuristic tendencies and erudite sense of humor, Raw hated bigotry. Interesting. He tended to turn stereotypes on their heads in an era where they were predominant form of pulp fiction. He always delighted in having any members of a Reich, Third, or otherwise die in grotesque and ironic ways, often involving putrid horrors from Lovecraft's best wet dream. He might have had some shtick he used like an old vaudeville song and dance man, but he fucking hated Nazis, bigots, and this is a tongue twister, zealots who thought useful to divide the world. Well, yeah, exactly. I'm not trying to do that. Wow, what a great answer. This man is a good man. You can just tell who is a smart, intelligent man by reading his answer. I like that answer. I like that very much so. Oh, this person says that they knew Robert Anton Wilson personally. Well, that's strange because I met many people who've met I've met them face to face who've known Robert Anton Wilson personally. Let's see here. He said that let's see here. In your own words, seriously, Robert Anton Wilson would be agape at your ignorance. I asked a simple question and exposed everyone's ignorance. Raw would applaud me and laugh at you. Daniel Falkenbach, seriously, I knew Bob a bit. He would have laughed his ass off at you and thus question. Looks like you both are having emotional reactions with no answers to give. Congrats. Oh, because this is a different person. Yeah, this just a bunch of emotional reactions with no answers. Yeah, congratulations. I'm used to that. I can spot that out very easily. I answered earlier, but thanks. Edgy provocateurs never directly engage. They just insult and use willful obtuseness as a club. You exposed your caps lock button and your ignorance. My caps lock button? Let's see here. Well, time to restart this fire. Let's see here. What shall I say? I exposed. Huh? Okay. So yeah, you got You got jack shit. Nothing to bring to the table. Yeah, nothing to bring to the table. Bunch of fucking empty ass meals. Almost done here, folks. Almost done. Let's see here. All right. So that's cool. That was in Robert Anton Wilson fan group. Somebody who's, these people are a lot smarter than normal folk here, folks. And then you got my group here. This is my group, the League of Extraordinary Flat Earthers. You all know my group. One of the best groups on Flat Earth. In Flat Earth, easily. So I asked the question in my group: what's the difference between a Zionist, a Jew, and a Jesuit? In your own words. I only had one man respond. John G. Beagle, out of over 1,100 people in my group. And we already seen these memes earlier. Remember? I remember. So we can exit that. Go to my Facebook wall, which is the last thing final here, so I can go watch my globalist programming. Refill my drink, refill my bong. If I was a very kind man, I'd take my computer into the living room and we'd get to watch some Laker basketball like we did in the old days. Remember that? Remember when we used to watch like wrestling and Laker basketball together? But we haven't reunited recently, and I miss you. So we're going to come back together soon. We're going to reunite and break down the globalist propaganda and their filthy Mickey Mouse pear globe globalistic spear ball machine that they run on us every single day in their commercials nonstop, media nonstop, news nonstop, news 24/7, nonstop news, nonstop globalism news. So yeah, that's how it runs. Let's see here. Da da dee 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 dee. Da da ba dee dee do. Ya da ba. And stop sharing. Cool. So I stopped sharing this. I showed you everything. I showed you everything, and I didn't even want to fucking go through all of that madness. That I could have been watching globalist propaganda programming, Los Angeles Lakers basketball, and breaking down the newest programming and schemes that they have tried to get us involved in unconsciously. And by the way, again, I have to repeat this, most of the CIA agents that work for the CIA are not employed by the CIA. They're actually unconscious sleeper agents. You might want to look into that. I have. But I've had a really good time with everyone here. I'm going to pour one more drink and have one more bong rip. And I'm going to read everyone's comments like I said I would in the description. If you go and read the description, you can find a link to my Twitter account, to my Instagram, and to my Facebook. Also, you should subscribe to me if you haven't. Like the video and watch my other videos. Like those ones too. It gets a little bit weird in Alice in Wonderland, but I do that on purpose. And I say that I do it on purpose because I let you know on certain secrets. Because you deserve that. Because I've been talking for so long, and if you're still here, well, then you deserve to hear that. Because I'm transparent. I'm much more transparent in the second hour than I am in the beginning, first hour. Especially when I have a couple old spirits in me. And yes, they'll say, Dan, you are possessed by the spirit demons of alcohol. And I'll say, oh, well, praise Bob. And if you learn anything about history, you'll know that old Nikola Tesla and Mark Twain liked to and promoted, propagandized even, drinking whiskey every single day of their lives. You know that guy named Mark Twain and Nikola Tesla? I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They were secretly best friends. They didn't like to talk about it too much, except in private letters. You can go and read that if you want. You're on a secret device that the government, the CIA, didn't want to be released. It's called the internet, the www. I don't know if you've been paying attention at this point. We got 5 people watching, 10 people watching. I don't know. How you doing? Oh, we got 11 people watching. Cool. Antonio just showed up to the party. What's up, Antonio? I'm actually close to closing this off here. So let's see here. Yeah. Hey, Christian, you think it's a good life being a stand-up comedian in Israel?
I don't know, man. I don't know what kind of culture. I would imagine not. Probably not.
Hey, guys, is it legal if we talk about the government here? No, I'm just kidding. But seriously.
You seen what's that girl's name? Abby
Martin.
Martin. She went over there. She exposed a lot of the shit that was going on over there. I gotta give her some credit for that.
Well, yeah, she works for the Russian news, the RT network. So, and she's good friends with old globalist buddy Joe Rogan.
She was on her show, yeah.
And I know, hang now, we want to believe that these people are working for the good and for us, but in reality, she's probably a man. So let's.
Damn, I would have had sex with her too.
I know. I mean, they look so nice, but yeah, looks are deceiving, and I tend.
She did a whole thing. She did a whole thing on Brave New World, or I think it was one of those books, and I was like, damn, why did I meet chicks like this when I was in, school? Chicks that are into books and they're hot. It's like impossible.
So type 23 if you learned anything from this discussion here. The 10 very devoted and extremely intelligent folks that are watching that are full of slack. And since you're so full of slack, you should obviously send your $35 to the Church of the Subgenius, and you can find that by going to Google subgenius.com and just send your $35 to the Church of the Subgenius, which is Bob, J.R. Bob Dobbs, and who is the prophet and deity of the Church of the Subgenius, along with a few other secret ones that you don't know about yet, otherwise named Jehovah One or Wu-Tan. But we'll tell you about those guys later, and of course the mysterious Yeti gods that are yet to be explained and described. So let's read a few more of these comments. Have a good time here, Christian. I thank you for fucking sitting and chilling with me and listening to this entire diatribe and of people trying to answer a simple question in different groups full of hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Let's see here. Antonio. So we damn gotta go, guys. It's crazy. Oh, it's crazy o'clock over here. Peace out, Antonio. Later. Let's see here. So everyone, okay. Have you ever heard of Sausage Earth? Of course, Edgelord Earl. I've heard of Sausage Earth. It's called the penis Earth theory. That's your primitive Sausage Earth model. It's been partially debunked, although there are some spheroids involved with the penis Earth theory. There's 2 spheroids that are in the way of the shaft phallus obelisk penis Earth, and so I'm still on board with the penis Earth theory. So you do got some merit with your Sausage Earth model there, Edgelord Earl. So let's see here. Okay, everyone's had a good time. We got 10 people watching here. I'm gonna. I've had a good time. I'm glad I got all of that out. I mean, honestly, I could have made a 23-minute video on YouTube and condensed all of that into 23 minutes. But it was more fun, in my opinion, to do this live and do a hangout with it and read people's live comments with it. Although I'm sure I would have gotten some great answers and comments and opinions if I would have made a short video and a 23-minute video of the difference between a Jew, a Jesuit, and a Zionist. But as you can all tell and observe, we've all learned something from this. I know Christian has, hanging out here, and I know the people in the Decone, what's going on, brother? I know the people. I also want to address one last thing. Decone, you're friends and apparently best friends with my, at least my online friend Candy, and there's a lot of drama and controversy going on about a lot of things in this awakening, and I'm just going to remind all the Drunk News Network that I introduced Candy to you guys, so you're welcome for that. Also, you're welcome to Wes, Christian, for introducing you to the Drunk News Network and that platform, so you can get your voice, your opinions, and your music out there. Because that wouldn't have happened without me. So I'm going to pull a Matt Boyland here, right there, and take credit for that because it's true and it's 100% factual, right, Christian?
I think so. I believe so, to the best of my knowledge.
So we have it's not just me speaking garbage out of my mouth. Felix in the comments, you no offense, you get around in the live streams and in the streams, I mean. And so I'm sure you knew of the Drunk News Network before me, because were you commenting on their live streams, watching their videos in the Drunk News Network? I invited you into that group, the Drunk News Network, Felix. So I invited you into that group. But why weren't you in that group before me? I was the one who invited you into the group. And now certain people on the Drunk News Network hate me and they won't talk to me anymore and they block me. And Josh of the Drunk News Network doesn't fucking care at all. And I don't really care too much, especially when it's from globalist, statist bootlickers and ball lickers and globe suckers. So yeah, I just wanted to remind you guys of that. Like Decone, you're welcome for the whatever. And yeah, cool. Just wanted to get that out there. See, Felix says, I met Joker here on your show, but I was into SwearNet. So she was already into SwearNet, but she wasn't introduced to Drunk News Network. So again, I was the guy who brought that into the business. See, I go to the, what do I do here? I'll go to rappers, and Tila Tequila responds to me. She has a open dialogue with me on Twitter, although she's probably banned off that or just deactivate her account off that because she goes off on her little rampage, tries to get money for her child and support herself. Good for you. B.O.B. doesn't talk to me yet. The members, the co-founders and the leaders of the Church of the Subgenius talk to me. Dubé and Powerland talk to me. ODD talks to me. I'm just giving myself a little pat on the back here. I brought Diabolic into the Flat Earth mix. It was his favorite conspiracy, but I publicized that. Bringing famous underground rappers into the mix. Let's see here. Alex Jones follows me. I met Joe Rogan in person and with my Flat Earth shirt on, with his eyes bugging out of his head. I've been on many radio stations talking to hundreds of thousands of people. Not millions yet, okay? I'm not viral yet, folks, okay? That's not the mission here, folks. If that was the mission, that would have happened 5 years ago, folks. Sometimes you got to put some work in. Sometimes you got to make a fool of yourself, folks. Sometimes you got to expose your own ignoramus. You think I give a shit about exposing myself? That's why nobody says shit about me. That's why nobody can make videos about me, about my past, or about anything. Nobody can say that about me. Because you got jack shit on me, and I got nothing to hide. Isn't that interesting? Derpy derp derp. I don't want to talk to the guy with a clean record. Yeah, I have a thing called a clean record. 0. Nothing. Nothing on there, folks. A clean record, folks. Did you know that? The Flat Earth Subgenius has a clean record. Nothing on there. 0. Derpy derp derp. Come to the light. Come to Bob. Come to Bob. Fucking clueless. I just noticed that I put a 0 over my eye. Oh my god, he put a 0 over his eye. Do you realize what I've been talking about for the past 2 hours? You think I give a shit about that? I had my friends, my students, my fellow classmates that I graduated with in Buffalo, and they're saying, this guy thinks that the government's after him. What? Dude, everything I say, everything I put on Facebook, you guys eat up like popcorn. Everything I don't think about you, but you people in Buffalo, in the East Coast, you still put up little posts directed towards me. And you think, no, that's just your ego speaking there, Dan. No, it's speaking directly towards me. And then when other people come in and say, yes, I've been waiting for this, that's called confirmation. Like, I'm not just, and I go, guys, I know you talk shit behind my back. That's cool. Good job. So when I come back there and I'm on a stage, a platform, a flat platform, and you're all paying to come see me or coming to see me for free, because I really don't give a shit about money too much, unless it's for Bob or for a little sandwich that I need for a fucking night. Yeah, I don't really give a shit about that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be living in San Diego for the past year, just throwing my money away. I do this thing called slacking off. I quit my job and I stopped working because I've been cultivating my slack, thanks to Bob, thanks to joining the Church of the Subgenius 2 years ago. I was a flat earther before I became a subgenius, which is why I was Flat Earth Dan and some other fucking name before Flat Earth Subgenius. I was like, oh, I know, I have a good idea. I'll be the first subgenius to speak out about the flat Earth. It's a very good idea, since the Flat Earth Bible talks about the flat Earth, and that the leaders talk about the flat Earth in 1995 when I'm Eric Dubé. I'm Matt Powerland. I'm Paul Michael Bales. I was talking about the flat Earth in 2011. No, I was doing it in 2007. No, I was doing it in 2006. Well, the subgenius were doing it in the 80s, in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s. You guys are far behind us, okay? God, I love exposing my own ignorance and fucking your ignorance. It's very easy to do, too.
I haven't seen Joker go on in a while.
Oh, I don't know. He's banned me on everything, and he's banned me from his live streams and his Facebook.
Seriously, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he blocked me on all accounts. There's this thing called the truth, and when it's staring directly at your face and not moving at all, no matter if you shoot bazookas at it, you have to block that person because the truth is too powerful.
Isn't Joker a flat earther though too?
Oh God, no, he's an I don't knowist.
Oh shit, I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah, he's just a good, a good listener. Yeah, he's a good listener. I like Joker. He's a good listener. Unfortunately, he blocked me, so he doesn't want to listen anymore. Aww. Aww, you don't want to listen anymore? Aww. Aww.
I feel bad about that. I mean, after you introduced me to him, I was on a few of his hangouts after that and met quite a cool, interesting people like that guy John Rich, and I didn't even know that he was a Globie. I didn't know, I didn't know the pretext or the context because we were all talking about music. You would introduce me to them. I was open, about the shit. I had no idea. I just assumed that. And then all of a sudden, after talking to that guy John for 2 weeks, we even got drunk together on hangouts and shit. And then one day he got really hammered. He was like, I don't care what fucking shape you're this. And then he went in this drunken rant. I was like, oh, wait a second. I had no idea that was like a panel of mixed people. And then I'm like, oh, okay. So it was too late. I already liked the guy. So.
Well, that's the thing. So now that I'm a leading non-member of the Church of the, a non-leading member of the Church of the Subgenius, I now am apparently a cast on the Drunk News Network, and the Drunk News Network is a part of SwearNet, and SwearNet is a part of the Trailer Park Boys, and SwearNet Incorporated is one of the people who gave me my copyright strike, which disabled my live stream in the past, if you remember. So it all comes full circle, and it's quite interesting, very interesting actually. And yeah, I love the Drunk News Network and what they provide. I love SwearNet. I love the Trailer Park Boys. It's an emotional fucking world we're living in. There's a lot of conflicting ideologies existing at the same time, with many different individual reality tunnels that are very hostile towards one another, and this is all going on at the same time. So it's very chaotic and confusing. And so that's why I'm going to become a member of the Church of the Discordians, the religion of the Discordians, very soon. And I don't know if it costs money. I've already bought the Bible well over a year ago, well over 2 years ago, actually. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm just going to continue to join religions and invent my own religions, which, like I said earlier, you all, if you're listening to this, the 11 people listening, you are all a member of the Church of the Ultimate Mystery, which is you're all popes, and I'll get more into that soon, which is the first the Antonio Superatz's church, the Church of the Ultimate Truth, is the subset of the Church of the Ultimate Mystery. So let that be known first, and but it's better to just put those on hold and join the Church of the Subgenius, and yeah, we can take over the conspiracy with all of our combined slack. Does that sound good? I think it does.
You're talking about the Principia Discordia?
Oh, absolutely. Could you read about it while I go refill my drink?
Sure.
Oh, please do.
All right. I remember stumbling across this book a few years ago, and I couldn't figure out whether it was a joke or not. But it's rather well, written. But I'll give you the Wikipedia. Discordianism is actually, let's just go right into the book rather than just describe Discordianism. We'll just get right into the book. The Principia Discordia, which is the Bible, is a Discordian. It's a Discordian religious text written by Greg Hill, also known as Malaclips the Younger, with Kerry Wendell Thornley, also known as Lord Omar Khayyam Ravenhurst. The first edition was printed using Jim Garrison's Xerox printer in 1963. Second edition was published under the title Principia Discordia, or How the West Was Lost, in a limited edition of 5 copies in 1965. The phrase Principia Discordia, reminiscent of Newton's Principia Mathematica, is presumably intended to mean discordant principles or principles of discordance. The Principia describes the Discordian society and its goddess Eris, as well as the basics of the POEE denomination of Discordianism. It features typewritten and handwritten text intermixed with clip arts, stamps, and seals appropriated from other sources. While the Principia is full of literal contradictions and unusual humor, it contains several passages which propose that there is serious intent behind the work. For example, a message scrawled on page 00075. If you think the Principia is just a haha, then go read it again. The Principia is quoted extensively in and shares many themes with the satirical science fiction book The Illuminatus trilogy by Robert Shea and Robert Anton Wilson.
Yeah. Praise Bob.
You want me to finish this last paragraph on it?
Oh, please do.
Wilson was not directly involved in writing the Principia. Notable symbols in the book include the apple of discord, the pentagon, and the sacred cow. Well, the sacred, I get it, cow, but CHAO, like chaos, which resembles the Tahitu of Taoism, but the two principles depicted are Hajj and Paj, rather than yin and yang, and they are and they are represented by the apple and the pentagon, and not by dots. Saints identified include Emperor Norton, Yossarian, Don Quixote, which I'm familiar with that, and Bokanon. The Principia also introduces the mysterious word Fnord, later popularized in the Illuminatus trilogy. The trilogy,
Lord indeed.
the trilogy itself is mentioned in the afterword to the Lumpanix edition and in the various introductions to the 5th editions. So there's the basic description of it, but that's not getting into Discordianism.
Yeah, you just totally inspired me to send all of my books back to my house in Buffalo and go back to my house and gather the last 2 books of the Subgenius and the Principia Discordia and finish my current books that I'm on, and then cultivate more slack, which is what I've been doing. Like I told you, I was going to do on Patricia Steer's show, long time ago. Except I told you all I was going to drive across the plane of the United States, and that didn't happen because I flew across it instead. So one plan changed, and I'm still here. Like I told you, hey, you're just a flat earther that lives in his mom's basement. No, that's weird because I haven't heard from you guys in 2 years now. Where'd you guys go? I thought I was just a flat earther that lived in his mom's basement. But now I live in a condo in San Diego for a year and a half now. And you guys don't make fun of me anymore because you live in shitty cities that stink and are full of chemtrails and GMOs and horrible military bases and underground bases that they're probably stealing children. No, I'm getting horribly graphic and pessimistic. I don't want to get into that. But yeah, you get the point. So you can't make fun of me on that anymore. You shut up, didn't you? Oh, and then when I started talking to semi-famous, D-listers and C-listers, oh, that's weird. Wait a minute. I became a conspiracy hunter, somebody who was studying conspiracies for nearly a decade, for over a decade at this point, who is now somebody who other people go to me and say, hey, Dan, remember when we were researching this in the beginning? Now, he said to me, you're one of the guys that I research. What a time paradox that is. What a fucking time warp mind fuck that is. And Now I'm involved in all this shit. Oh yeah, what's that called again? Who invented that? Hunter, what was his name? Hunter S. Thompson, and then Robert Anton Wilson furthered his work even more. Oh yeah, it's called Gonzo journalism, guerrilla ontology to be exact. And you look into a little social gonzo journalism, or some gonzo journalism, or guerrilla ontology, and you'll learn a lot. We've been talking a lot about it. We talked a lot about it. I gave you ideas about going on the street with a sign that says the earth is flat, no money required, no money needed. And you'll probably be arrested within 20 minutes if you do that. I think that's when the alarms, the smoke alarms, the bells, the red bell might need, if they don't arrest bums with signs begging for money, disturbing the peace, disturbing the war, they they won't arrest those bums, but they'll arrest the guy with a sign that says "No money required. The earth is flat. Have a good day." And I guarantee you, I'm almost afraid if I actually did do this, I probably will. You know what? Fuck it. Gotta face your fear. So I'm gonna do this live, and I might be arrested live on camera, but probably not. I'm gonna have to put my hair in some sort of like, I'm gonna put my hair up and put it in a little, ball or a man bun, so they think I'm like some sort of hipster or something like that, like a new age hipster. And so I can disguise myself easier that way. That'll be good. So I'll be like, guys, I'm sorry. I'll listen to your orders. I'm sorry. I'll put the sign down. Just I won't disturb the war anymore. I know I'm just trying to tell people that the earth is flat and not beg for money at all. Do you see that guy over there with a sign begging for money? Could you? Why did you come to me first? That man over there is begging for money, and he's demanding. Well, he's begging for money. Me, I'm not. I'm not begging for money. I haven't. Never have. The only time I beg for money is when I beg you to give it to the Church of the Subgenius. Give your $35 to Bob. I'm not Bob. So if I'm telling you to give your money to a different religion, and there's no difference between Mormonism, which Antonio is a student and a philosopher of. There's no difference between Mormonism and subgenii. There's no difference between a lot of things. Apparently, there's no difference between Christianity, Catholicism, Nazism, Judaism, Jesuits, Zionist, and Mormonism, subgenius. The church. Did you know that the church, the Satanists, like we in the flat Earth community, we like to throw around the term Satanist very loosely, mind you, but there are a real group of people called Satanists who identify as Satanists, who are members of the Church of Satanists. It's a real thing, like the Church of the Subgenius, except the Church of the Satanists have forgotten that they're like a joke. That they're a joke group. The Subgenius just reminds everyone that you're all jokes. Either you're in on the joke or you're not. Praise Bob. You see what I mean there, Hang Now?
Yep.
Oh, and the Discordians predate. First off, the Church of the Subgenius is nearly a 40-year-old official religion now, who is currently making the most money and the most popular it's been since the early 90s, which doesn't have anything to do with me at all. And the Discordian religion predates the Church of the Subgenius religion by nearly half a century. It's quite interesting once you see these characters that are involved, especially once you realize that Aleister Crowley had a very large hand in with the Discordians.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, uh-oh, now he's talking about Aleister Crowley. Well, you got to end off a talk of such magnitude with some Crowley thrown in there at the end. Of course. We're talking about the Principe of Discordia. We're talking about one of the saints. Oh, if you didn't know it, Aleister Crowley is a saint and a prophet of the religion of Discordianism. Oh, yeah, you didn't know that because I just told you it, but now you know it. You're welcome. So, I've had a great time, and I think I've proved my non-existent point. Right? Hang now.
Absolutely. You know what I found? Look what I found the other
Oh, nice.
couple weeks
Very
ago.
nice.
All right, yeah, I found this going through my old books.
Yeah, I don't.
Turns out,
Is that a first edition?
let me see.
I mean, that shit's old, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an old one. By the way, I did my research. I actually did some research on this recently, and before anyone freaks out, this is the 77, well, 1980 rather. Before people start freaking out over this book and they're like, "Oh my God," you know what it turns out that this book really is? This book was actually just written by H.P. Lovecraft, and it was what. If you look into it, you find out that H.P. Lovecraft kept referring to this book in his fictional stories. Now, to make it seem real, which was genius, which is a genius move. What he did was actually create this book and create this backstory of this mad Arab called Abdul al-Hazred, which you actually translated. It means it's a bullshit name. It's a bullshit name.
One of
can't-
Rob Anton Wilson's greatest influences is H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh, H.P. Lovecraft is absolutely genius. But before people start freaking out about this, I mean, there's a lot out there. If you just go on YouTube, honestly, and research it yourself, you look and you learn more and more about this book. You know,
Believe
just
it
like
or not,
anything else.
that's one of the few occult books that I don't own.
Yeah, I thought for so long that, I mean, I'm not saying the things in here might or might not work, because if you apply your psychology and your belief and energy to anything, they could manifest themselves into reality. There's no doubting that whatsoever. But before people freak out over that book, they need to understand that the book was actually just written by H.P. Lovecraft, kind of as a to create, because he created all the mystery around this thing that he had made that were written about in his book. So he had to create the real thing. Yeah, that's all that it is.
Genius. And for the last 2 minutes here, I'm going to close this epic hangout up. I'm sorry it took me so long to get all that out, but I had a great guest to come on, and he helped me out here and made it a more enjoyable show for us all. And let's see here. I mean, it's always good to bring levity into horribly serious discussions and discourses. So let me play this song here to close it out.
This is a song called Nie mogę zrobić domu bon. It's been in my country, there is a problem.
I know it's going to be muffled. I know you're not going to be able to hear it too well. But I don't care.
In my country there is problem. And that problem is transport.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave you off on a good note. Here it comes.
Because Kazakhstan is deep. Throw transport down the well.
This is live from the back of Mars. Just kidding, it's from the back of the moon. This is live. Hey, who's that guy? Skillam at the Lego. Daniela Baron Cohen. Gerald Baron Cohen, Borat's parents. They all changed the name. Yeah, obviously, down the well or what. Yes, that's obviously true. They'd like to change the name. Brush your hair, you bloody hippie. Hey, CTS, don't make me take your wrench away. But again, this is going to be an interesting one. This is going to be an interesting one. See, what I'm going to show you, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 different groups that I posed this question to. I said, what's the difference between a Jew, a Jesuit, and a Zionist? That's all I wanted to know. And I genuinely wanted and still would like a better explanation of the differences between the 3. So let me give you an example of what the difference is based on other people's esteemed opinions. The really hard researched opinions from various levels of intelligence from Facebook groups of different personalities and levels of consciousness. So this is going to be good. Matter of fact, I need to take a bong rip because this is going to be really good. All right. You're going to enjoy this. You're all going to enjoy this.
Yes, all right.
And sorry about that. For my last trick I'll play. Alrighty then. Figure that'd be a nice note to end it on there. Horribly offensive. Let's see here. I'm surprised you didn't leave, Hang Now. Some people don't have the balls to stay, but I actually commend you for hanging on like a true hang nail to the end. I truly appreciate that. But yeah, that's Sacha Baron Cohen. That's a Jewish legend singing about Jews. Very weird song, but a very incredible song. Especially when you really think about the circumstances, what was going on in the place that he sang it in Texas. One more point I wanted to add. Yeah, I know, Felix. What did I wanted to say? Oh, well, I wanted to add TAC Anthony on, but he didn't join because I wanted to see if he learned anything. Did anyone learn anything from this? I mean, all right, I know you did.
He was in the chat.
All right, I'll play one final song to close off this. That's the thing. That's what I like about my channel. It's like an underground like cult thing. Yeah, specifically I say cult because I am in a cult, multiple cults. I'm in multiple cults, and I occult the cults that I'm in. So I occult the cults that I'm in for you, because that's what I do, I guess. And because you're too scared to do it, or too lazy to do it, or you don't have the money or the time or the interest. And so, like, I'll just do it, and then I'll show you. Anyone can do it. So if I can do it, you can do it. And that's what I've been doing. Remember when I was on Patricia Steer's show telling you that I'm going to be living in San Diego and bringing the East Coast and the West Coast together? Remember when I said that over 2 years ago? late 2014, early 2015. And that's what I've been doing for nearly 2 years now. So that means that my actions align with my words. So when you meet someone and truly look into my beautifully hypnotizing brown eyes that you can't see right now because I have a pathetic camera that looks like I'm in the back of Mars or the moon. What was that? Yeah, Christian, what was I talking about?
I'm not really sure, but I'm with you. I'm following you.
I don't
You
know.
were talking
Can't
about a
remember.
few different things. You were I got distracted for a second myself. You said you were gonna close out with something, and fuck. I was
Yeah, no,
listening
that's all.
too. You know, that's how brain dead I
I
was.
know
Yeah,
that's
I
how
was
I feel.
listening.
I'm like, shit. I had a good point there, and I was trying to like be all badass and cool, but I didn't. I can't even remember the final thing that I was gonna say. And that's how. That's how much I don't like. That's how much I don't care. So, but at the same time, I really do. So that's why I did this thing. Yeah, that's a really tough topic to divulge into. This title that I've been doing here, the title of my Ho 79. You like that? The Ho 79? Like how I shortened it?
Yeah, that's good.
You know, like why call it a hangout? It's a Ho.
These my hoes, yo.
Yeah, exactly. You're all my hoes, and we're all pimping it. Oh, it's too fucking funny, bro. Yo, we're all taking over. We're taking it over! Listen, these idiots thought that they were taking over. They gave us the tools and the buttons to too many devices. They fucked up. Now we're taking over. Like they thought that like giving like a few like tools and buttons away to a few people wouldn't do anything. But like it did this thing called making the entire world riot against the mark of the beast system, which is the mark of the beast system is making cannabis illegal. What's the mark of the beast, Dan? The mark of the beast is saying that nature is illegal and nature is sinful and bad. That's the mark of the beast. It's not that complicated, folks. Is it? If you take plants and try to synthetically, chemically turn them into government patents instead of natural laws, that's what they're trying to do. You have a thing called natural law and man-made law. Natural law is cannabis, plants, ayahuasca, DMT, all these different power plants, hallucinogens, psychedelics that help evolve and expand consciousness. That's natural. That's a natural law. But man-made law says that all of those things that I just said are Schedule 1 drugs. That's man-made law. Did you know that? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did know that. You knew that, right? Christian, you knew that.
Oh, I knew. Oh, yeah, I knew that. I thought you were speaking rhetorically to the people that are listening. Of course, I know that. Absolutely, it's complete insanity. And when you lay it down that simply, it makes so much more sense.
They can't.
But
See, here's the thing. Now, to go even further, like the internet, like I said, they give us the buttons and the tools. That's the internet, the World Wide Web. And so that even further showed the more coercion and conspiracy. So they go, like I'm talking about, like, here's the thing. Christian, here's the difference between me and a conspiratard. Explain it very simply. A conspiratard believes that the entire world is dominated by one giant conspiracy. Me, being a student of ontology and cosmology, recognizes that the world is run by at least 23 different conspiracies running at the same time, trying to fight against one another. And all of those conspiracies are trying to undermine the other conspiracies to control the giant conspiracy, which is impossible to control because there's 23 at least trying to control the whole multiverse. So that's at least, by the way. And so if I'm saying at least, you know I'm right at this point. You go, fuck, he's saying at least. He's saying that there's at least 23 conspiracies that are trying to control the planet. New World Order at the same time. But that's the thing. Like, that should give you hope. When I tell you that 23 conspiracies at least are trying to control the world at one time, right now, at this very moment, that should give you hope. Because all of them are totally futile and useless against one another. And they can't control anything at all. You don't have any control. They're trying to control something that's uncontrollable. And I'm trying to spell it out to you in a very foxy type of way. And if you can't see that, I'm sorry.
You know, a long time ago, this dude gave me this analogy, and it stuck with me for whatever reason. You know, just like how, like, in the end, you know, that nothing seems to make sense, but in the end, I've always felt that everything will make sense. And anyway, the analogy that he gave me was that of life is like like, let's say it was a football game that was on TV. That was the analogy. It was like the Super Bowl or something, but you couldn't watch it while it was on because you were working, whatever. So you had your friend tape the game for you. So even though you might know who won, you still want to watch the fucking tape because you want to see how the game went or whatever. And that was the analogy. That's how life works. And what you're talking about is good prevailing over evil. And that is, it's already like when you talk about hope, you have to know that good will in the end, it's already known. Like you already, it's the next day. You already know which team won, but you're just right now as we're going through life, we're just watching.
Exactly. Hold on. To further your point, that's the cosmic balance of life. Is that pretending that evil has a chance to win? See how it furthers the play? So if we pretend that evil has a chance to win during our whole lives over good, then that makes our lives interesting. And in reality, we can just give that whole paradigm up. Like we're young, man. You're 38, I'm 32, and I don't consider myself a dualist. I've given up the dualism. A lot of people are still stuck in the yin yang, dark, black, evil, good. That's what it is, folks. That's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with good versus evil. It's a spiritual cosmic war, okay? Zionists aren't always Jews, and Jews are. So shut up. You don't know anything. What? Shut up. So when I call these people out who think that the world is good versus evil, that it's day and night, that the sun is against the moon, and that the moon and the sun are enemies, on the over the flat Earth. The sun and the moon don't get along. It's like dude, this is what these people. That's what it's come to. You know, like the sun and the moon are not equals. You know, they're enemies, and it's Luna, and she's Lilith, which is the original Eve, and she got exiled from the Garden of Eden, and Adam just wanted someone to fuck and have a good time with, and then he didn't. God didn't comply. Adam told God, "I want a dirty whore slave as my compliant servant, God. Why don't you give that to me? I'm Adam." And God said, "Yo, bro, you're a filthy piece of shit. You need to relax and listen to me." And then Lilith, the original Eve, was like, "Jesus Christ, Adam, did you just listen to yourself? You think I'm just gonna just cook you dinner and blow you off and fucking whenever you want?" And I was like, "Yeah, exactly." And Lilith's like, "All right, I'm getting the fuck out of here." And so Lilith is prosecuted as being the original demon, the original devil. Look up the history and the lineage of Lilith, which is the original Eve. Did you know that?
Yes, I knew that they have the Lilith Fair, as a matter of fact, every so often.
Exactly. And that's why I love you, and that's why you're on this goddamn fucking. That's why you're on here with me, because you actually. When I ask normal people that, did you know that? They go, no, I didn't. And I'm like, okay, good. Not so. It's so funny because like I was having these conversations in 2011 and 10, 12, and the same conversations that I'm having now. They're like now it's just such a brighter, truer, clearer insight, and I don't want to be possessed by the clarity. Here's the thing, and I'm going to end off on this. We get trapped in our linguistic programming and our beliefs and our faiths and our hopes. One of the first hopes and faiths is power. And maybe I'm in that first stage. Maybe I'm just a young little turtle, and I don't know nothing. And I'm trying to achieve power, success, fame, fortunes. Even though that's not true, but I'm just giving you an ultimatum of maybe. And could you put me back on the train tracks there, Christian? What were we talking about again?
Well, you were talking about the about hope and the power that you're basically talking about power and the power that hope has.
Yeah.
Linguistic. You also talk about linguistic.
Thank you.
Stuff.
I got it. Thank you. So so I can be blinded by the power I'm unconsciously trying to achieve. See, I actually talk about these things live, and I'm not a liar. And then you get to the next stage, beyond power, which is, you know what? I'm going to look it up, but I'm going to think of it before I look it up. So I know the first stage is maybe, well, there's power, and then there's clarity, and then there's old age, which is 3 out of the 4. So I can't remember the 1. So there's power, which I don't know which step it is. I think it's the first or the second. Clarity is the 3rd step, and then old age is the 4th. And I'm going to get into that right now, and that's how I'm actually going to close off this epic talk. So the 4, Christian, we're about to talk about have you ever heard about the 4 stages of power?
The 4 stages of power.
That's what I'm about to end this bitch on.
I'm not getting this confused with that other. I don't want to be like yeah. And I'm thinking about the wrong thing. Oh man. I'm gonna look it up too to make sure that I have the right idea.
Oh, this is the 4 natural enemies of a man of knowledge. Very interesting, isn't it?
Mm.
The 4 natural enemies of a man of knowledge. So, oh boy. Okay, here goes. This is awesome. So I'm gonna go to the fucking man. What a bunch of pussies, dude. We got barely 10 people watching. Nobody's like commenting anymore. That's how much of these spineless pussies are fucking. I love you, Felix. I love you, THC Anthony. But the rest of you are fucking spineless coward pussies. Go fuck yourself.
we're
Do you know what I
talking
mean?
about.
Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
no, I know exactly. We're talking about good shit here, and you're talking about Don Juan. So now we're talking about the right shit. We're talking about the same shit.
All
right. Go ahead.
I'm actually gonna take one more, of course, one more bong rip, and then I will get right into this. Just spare me a minute and a half, please. Thank you.
Okay.
What's up, dude?
What's going on, bro?
Sorry, dude. What were you spieling about?
I actually wasn't. I just kept my mouth shut. What's the point?
All
No
right,
one's
so
listening, right? It's just me and you now.
Actually, there's 10 people watching still.
You gotta wonder who they are, because they're either just really quiet, if they're not in the chat, or they're
Isn't
just
it weird? Like, who are these 10 people? It's Felix, THC Anthony, and some trolls. Like the 8 other people are trolls, just trying to learn stuff off of us.
Yeah. Starts getting weird. You start thinking, who are? If you don't know them, it's like, who are they? Just random people just listening.
Oh, that's what I always ask, dude. There's a new feature on Instagram now because I go live on Facebook and Instagram, and I challenge people to debate me and talk to me and say shit to my face every single day of my life. And like old Rosie Cross just came into the chat room here, and now he's saying all of his words in capitalization. and he's saying what the thinker thinks, the prover proves, which is some Robert Anton Wilson, flat earth subgenius cathexis type of speaking. Who was the master that makes the grass green? He's obviously a student of Robert Anton Wilson, or at least somebody who follows my videos, because that's what I'm always talking about, and that's one of the latest videos that I just uploaded. Who is the master who makes the grass green? And yeah, if you don't know the answer to that question, then you're not worthy to be a subgenius. Don't apply. Stay away. So actually, I don't even want your $35 for the Church of the Subgenius. So stay away. I don't want your false slack. That's a big thing here in the Church of the Subgenius. There's slack and there's false slack, anti-slack. I don't want that bullshit. I can tell the difference too. Thank Bob. Praise Bob. But oh, here go. Here goes. You're gonna enjoy this. Oh shit! Did I just take a bong rip and I'm still not high? Fuck. All right. Well, here goes. So, Christian, you're still here. The 4 natural enemies of a man of knowledge, right?
Yes.
Okay. My friend, when I was about 21 years old. Actually, you know what? I think I was 22 years old, because I think I think it was after my brother passed away. Well, physically at least. Well, temporarily, physically at least. And he handed me a book, and it was by Carlos Castaneda, and he said, "This book will change your life." And I've told this story many times before, but it's a very great story. And so he gave me a book, which was written by Carlos Castaneda, and it was the teachings of Don Juan, a Yahweh way of knowledge. And so Don Juan was a Yahweh Indian.
I'm familiar
from
with that.
from the lands of Mexico, southern America, which is, you know, southern Mexico, because America is Mexico. But anyway, so so this is interesting. Interesting. So thank you all, and this is the 4 natural enemies of a man of knowledge, and this shit changed my life. Like 10 years ago. I'm 32 years old. My buddy handed me this book 10 years ago. My life is completely different. I didn't know what guerrilla ontology and gonzo journalism and psychedelic realms of knowledge and wisdom. I didn't know anything about any of that really until I read this book, which was when I was like 22 years old, which is coincidentally the year of my brother's death. So it's no coincidences. But let me read this off to you. So, excerpts from the teachings of Don Juan, a Yahweh way of knowledge, by Carlos Castaneda. This will only take barely less than 5 minutes. As I was getting ready to leave, I decided to ask him once more about the enemies of a man of knowledge. Now, Christian, are you listening, and can you deduce a general feeling or label of a man of knowledge?
A man of knowledge. I would, a man of knowledge, in the way I would interpret it, would be a man who's a thinking man, someone who's a seeker of truth. Honestly, that's what I would. That's the kind of knowledge when you refer to a man of knowledge.
Exactly. Like a seeker of true truth, and they're both in quotes. True truth. You know what I mean? Because it's relative. You know, what's true for one person is not true for another, and what's, you know, vice versa. And you know, what's a poor man? What's it? One man's garbage is another man's treasure.
Yeah.
And so let's further this. As we are alone, this is my own words. As we are alone in this, we're talking, so we're not alone. So we're not alone, but we're alone. So it is a paradox again. So now let me read again. I don't know. I hadn't planned that. I just wanted to I spontaneously wanted to say that. So as I was getting ready to leave, I decided to ask him once more about the enemies of a man of knowledge. Right? Wouldn't you want to know, Christian?
Mm-hmm.
So I argued that I could not return for some time, and it should be a good idea to write down what he had to say and then think about it while I was away. He hesitated for a while, but then began to talk. When a man starts to learn, he is never clear about his objectives. His purpose is faulty. His intent is vague. He hopes for rewards that will never materialize, for he knows nothing of the hardships of learning. He slowly begins to learn, bit by bit at first, then in big chunks. And his thoughts soon clash. What he learns is never what he pictured or imagined, and so he begins to be afraid. Learning is never what one expects. Every step of learning is a new task, and the fear the man is experiencing begins to mount mercilessly, unyieldingly. His purpose becomes a battlefield. And thus he has that's the one I forgot. Maybe the one that I am involved in, Christian. And thus he has tumbled upon the first of his natural enemies. I knew all of the three but the one. And thus he has stumbled upon the first of his natural enemies, fear. It's true. I have experienced that. 100%. I am a man of knowledge, and I have experienced the first of the natural enemies. I've experienced full-fledged fear, 100%. A terrible enemy, treacherous and difficult to overcome. It remains concealed at every turn of the way, prowling, waiting. And if the man is terrified in its presence, runs away, his enemy will have put an end to his quest. What will happen to the man if he runs away in fear? Nothing happens to him except he will never learn. He will never become a man of knowledge. He will perhaps be a bully to a harmless, scared man. At any rate, he will be a defeated man. His first enemy will have put an end to his cravings. And what can he do to overcome fear? The answer is very simple. He must not run away. He must defy his fear, and in spite of it, he must take up the next step in learning, and the next, and the next. He must be fully afraid, and yet he must not stop. That is the rule. And the moment will come when his first enemy retreats. The man begins to feel sure of himself. His intent becomes much stronger. Learning is no longer a terrifying task. When this joyful moment comes, the man can say without hesitation that he has defeated his first natural enemy, which is fear. Does it happen at once, Don Juan, or little by little? It happens little by little, and yet the fear is vanquished suddenly and fast. But won't the man be afraid again if something new happens to him? No. Once a man has vanquished fear, he is free from it for the rest of his life, because instead of fear, he has acquired clarity. A clarity of mind which erases fear. By then a man knows his desires. He knows how to satisfy those desires. He can anticipate the new steps of learning and a sharp clarity surrounds everything. The man feels that nothing is concealed, and thus he has encountered his second enemy, clarity. So now, we've identified the first enemy, which was fear, which is the one I forgot because it's the one I've dealt with and had quote unquote near death experiences with, and so I've came out of it, and then I encountered my second enemy, which is clarity. And so that clarity of mind, which is so hard to obtain, it dispels fear. Remember, this is what I've been talking about for a majority of the stream, is dispelling fear. So I've gone on to the third stage of clarity of mind, which is so hard to obtain, and it dispels fear, but it also blinds. It forces the man never to doubt himself. It gives him the assurance he can do anything he pleases, for he sees clearly into everything. I don't think that. I don't see clearly into everything. I say sometimes that I see through you and your bullshit, but I know that I don't see clearly into everything. And he is courageous because he is clear. And he stops at nothing because he is clear. But all that is a mistake. It is like something incomplete. If the man yields to this make-believe power, he has succumbed to the second enemy and will fumble with learning. You follow me, Hang now?
I'm right with you.
So we've dealt with fear and we've gone beyond it. Now we've dealt with clarity, which is something new.
Kind of a big deal too.
And if the man yields to this make-believe power, which I have, he has succumbed to his second enemy and will fumble with learning. He will rush when he should be patient, or he will be patient when he should rush. And he will fumble with learning until he winds up incapable of learning anything more. It's not good. What becomes of a man who is defeated in that way, Don Juan? Does he die as a result? No, he doesn't die. His second enemy has just stopped him cold from trying to become a man of knowledge. Instead, the man may turn into a buoyant warrior or a clown. Yet the clarity for which he has paid so dearly will never change the darkness and fear again. He will be clear as long as he lives, but he will no longer learn or yearn for anything. Jesus Christ. But what does he have to do? What does he have to do to avoid being defeated? But what does he have to do to avoid being defeated? He must do what he did with fear. He must defy his clarity and use it only to see, and wait patiently and measure carefully before taking new steps. He must think above all that his clarity is almost a mistake. And a moment will come when he will understand that his clarity was only a point before his eyes. And thus, he will have overcome his second enemy and will arrive at a position where nothing can harm him anymore. This will not be a mistake. It will not be only a point before his eyes. It will be true power. He will know at this point that the power he has been pursuing for so long is finally his. He can do with it whatever he pleases. His ally is his command. His ally is at his command. His wish is the rule. He sees all that is around him. But he has also come across his third enemy, power. Interesting dilemma we've come across here, Christian, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, power is the strongest of all enemies, even though there's a fourth. Isn't this interesting, Christian?
This is fantastic.
And naturally, the easiest thing to do is to give in. After all, the man is truly invincible. He commands. He begins by taking calculated risks and ends in making rules because he is a master. A man at this stage hardly notices his third enemy closing in on him. And suddenly, without knowing, he will certainly have lost the battle. His enemy will have turned him into a cruel, capricious man. Will he lose his power? No, he will never lose his clarity or his power. What then will distinguish him from a man of knowledge? A man who is defeated by power dies without really knowing how to handle it. Yo.
You shot ass at?
Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna have to. We're gonna have to put this on hold for 33 seconds. Fuck yeah. Sorry. Yo, you still listening?
I'm still here.
This is so he goes, will he lose his power, which is the third enemy. You see how I got the enemies mixed up, Christian? Because I'm still trying attempting to get out of it, man. I'm not fully out of it. Trying to get I'm attempting to escape it. I mean, I feel like I'm out of it, but I know that there's no such thing as an enlightened man. So I know how futile the whole thing is. And like the less I do, the more I do. And so I'm gonna keep going. So let's see here. Power is the strongest of all enemies. And that's interesting because it's only the third. So we have fear, clarity, and power. Power is the strongest of all enemies. And naturally, the easiest thing to do. I thought that like power was the first. That's how ego-driven I am. And naturally, the easiest thing to do is to give in. After all, the man is truly invincible. He commands. Exactly. I like to say that specifically. I like to say command you. Because I don't demand anything. I just command you, and you'll do it. And I'm not making demands. I'm making commands. I'm a leader. He commands. He begins by taking calculated risks and ends in making rules. And not only am I a part of many cults and many churches and literally inventing religions at the moment. So which is and ends in making rules. So I'm reading out my own because he is a master. A man at this stage hardly notices his third enemy is closing in on him. That's power. And suddenly, without knowing, he will come on, man. Come on, man. He will certainly have lost the battle against power. His enemy will have turned him into a cruel, capricious man. Will he lose his power? No, he will never lose his clarity or his power. What then will distinguish him from a man of knowledge? A man who is defeated by power dies without really knowing how to handle it. Power is only a burden upon his fate. Such a man has no command over himself and cannot tell when or how to use his power. Interesting. Is the defeat by any of these enemies a final defeat? Oof. Listen, is the defeat by any of these enemies a final defeat? Of course it is final. Once one of these enemies overpowers a man, there is nothing he can do. It is impossible, for instance, that the man who is defeated by power may see his error and mend his ways. No. Once a man gives in, he is through. It's over. But what if he is temporarily blinded by power and then refuses it? Sound a little Hollywoody? A little familiar? That means his battle is still on. That means he is still trying to become a man of knowledge. A man is defeated only when he no longer tries and abandons himself. But then, Don Juan, is it possible that a man may abandon himself to fear for years, but finally conquer it? No, that is not true. If he gives in to fear, he will never conquer it, because he will shy away from learning and never try again. But if he tries to learn for years in the midst of his fear, he will eventually conquer it, because he will never have really abandoned himself to it. Wow. How can he defeat his third enemy, Don Juan? Power. He has to defy it deliberately. He has to come to realize the power he has seemingly conquered is in reality never his. He must keep himself in line at all times, handling carefully and faithfully all that he has learned. If he can see that clarity and power, without his control over himself, are worse than mistakes, he will reach a point where everything is held in check. He will know then when and how to use his power. Thus, he will have defeated his third enemy. The man will be, by then, at the end of his journey of learning, and almost without warning, he will come upon the last of his enemies. Old age. This enemy is the cruelest of all, the one he or she won't be able to defeat completely, but only fight away. It is the time when a man has no more fears, no more impatient clarity of mind, a time when all of his power is in check, but also the time when he has an unyielding desire to rest. If he gives in totally to his desire to lay down and forget, if he soothes himself in tiredness, he will have lost his last round, and his enemy will cut him down into a feeble old creature. His desire to retreat will overrule all of his clarity, his power, and his knowledge. But if the man slays off of his tiredness and lives his fate through, he can then be called a man of knowledge. If only for a brief moment, when he succeeds in fighting off his last invincible enemy. That moment of clarity, power, and knowledge is enough. You have to be aware of the uselessness of your self-importance and your personal history. You have to be aware of the uselessness of your self-importance and of your personal history. Your death can give you little warning. It always comes as a chill. Death is our eternal companion. It is always to the left, at our arm's length. How can anyone feel so important? we know that our death is stalking us, the thing to do when you're impatient is to turn to your left and ask advice from your death. An immense amount of pettiness is dropped if your death makes a gesture to you. An immense amount of pettiness is dropped if your death makes a gesture to you, or if you catch a glimpse of it, or if you just have the feeling that your companion is there with you. So, how can anyone feel so important when we know that our death is stalking us? The thing to do when you're impatient is to turn to your left and ask advice from your death. So I'm going to do that with you guys because I'm very impatient. So I'm going to turn to my left and I'm going to ask advice from death itself. You're going to witness a spell here. Here goes. Yo, what up, Reap? Grim Reaper over here. Yo, Grim Reaper. Yo, what do you got? Any advice? You know, any decent advice, Grim Reaps? Apparently, you're like one of the, head occultists, main mans of that thing that musicians like to call Satan. Satan. So, what was that? That's kind of fucking strange. But seriously, do you have any advice on what to do with all these self-righteous, self-important flat earthers who are spreading lies, deceit, and division through the flat earth awakening? I'm asking you, Death. Any advice? Anyone have the balls to speak to Death on a live stream? Do you guys know of any flat earthers who speak to Death, the Grim Reaper, Lucifer, Satan, on a live stream with you guys? Raise your hand if you do. No, you haven't experienced that yet. Well, welcome to the chat. You're the lucky few. You're listening to me speak to actually ask Death for advice. So I've been asking Death for advice, and Death, do you have any advice on what's going on here in this flat, infinite plane of inertia here that I am situated in this middle of this hyperboloid toroidal field? Anything? Praise Bob? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to continue on here. Sorry I got off a fucking track, that I interrupted the last stage of power for you. So there was fear, there was clarity, there's power, and now old age. I don't give a fuck if you're fucking here or not, dude. If you're here, you need to hear it. Give a fuck if you leave or say goodbye. Sometimes I really enjoy that. Really enjoy when you say hello. Actually, not hello, but just give me a fucking, just give me a hi, or greetings, or aloha, or salutations, or oi, or I just don't like that word. It's so overused and so cursed. So let's see here. Yeah. So I mean, I've experienced having death at my. When you look to the left, you gotta look to the left. Remember, guys. Remember, I told you to look to the left and ask for advice, because your death is there. You're always gonna die, and it's always within arm's reach. Because whenever death wants to, it can go like this, boop, and you're done. and your entire life is gone and your consciousness is gone. But if you're a certain special person, like a man of knowledge, you get to bring that to the next level, a plateau, a level. Level, plateau, both words, they mean flat. So let's continue rising on the stairway to heaven, like Pink Floyd did. And that's what they do. And isn't it interesting that Pink Floyd always is in the news with Israel, with the Zionists and the Palestinians? Wasn't that what we were talking about earlier, Chris? Hey, we were. Yeah, strange how it all comes back around like that. Yeah. It's not strange to me because that's what I do. But let's bring it back to this finish here. The fourth stage of power, which is imminent death. It's called old age. All of us get there. I don't know if you ever heard of it, Christian. Have you heard of that hang now? Old age?
Of course, I've heard of old
Heard of
age.
Okay, you've heard of it. Okay, good. Okay, so I'm going to get into just a tiny bit. I have about literally 2 more minutes. Here goes. So here goes, old age. Wow, so all the powers are described, and old age is the most descriptive here. So let's get into this. Wow. Wow, old age really has a description here. Here goes. So the man may be by then at the, I mean, could you just give me a scale out of 1 to 100? How much you're enjoying this here? I'm to stroke my ego real quick, Christian.
I would give it a good 110. Getting everything.
Oh wow!
Yeah, this is good shit. I should have been asleep 2 hours ago, but
I know. I didn't think. I thought you were only last 20 minutes.
yeah.
But that's what she said. But anyway, so the man will be by then at the end of his journey of learning. After fear, clarity, and power, and almost without warning, he will come upon the last of his enemies, old age. And like Christian, I got gray hairs, man. I know what old age is about, so I'm probably on this stage right now already when I'm only 32 years old. And maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm on my first. Maybe I'm just a delusional asshole, and I'm on the first stage, and my ego is trying to convince myself that I'm on the last stage. You know, exactly. So this enemy is the cruelest of all, the one he won't be able to defeat completely. Right? Hang now, and only fight away. This is the time when. Come on, mute yourself.
Is that me that's doing that?
Yes, you sound like you farted. It was perfect timing, and I really appreciate the comedic timing.
It's Bluetooth headphones. Sorry about that.
It was like.
No.
By this time, this is the cruelest enemy of all. This is the fourth one. This is the time when a man has no more fears. Interesting. No more impatient clarity of mind. A time when all of his power is in check, but also the time when he is unyielding, has an unyielding desire to rest. So that's very interesting. How, like he has no more impatient clarity of mind, and it's a time where all of his power is in check, but at the same time he has an unyielding desire to rest. So that's like a paradox. If he gives in totally to his desire to lay down and forget, I see. If he soothes himself in tiredness, he will have lost his last round. And his enemy will have cut him down into feeble no creature. His desire to retreat will overrule all of his clarity, all of his power, and all of his knowledge. But if the man sloughs off his tiredness and he lives his fate through, can he be called a man of knowledge? If only for a brief moment, when he succeeds in fighting off his last invincible enemy, that moment of clarity, power, and knowledge is enough. But you have to be aware of the uselessness of your self-importance and of your personal history. Your death can give you a little warning. It always comes as a chill. Death is our eternal companion. It always is to the left in an arm's length. And I know I read this, but I'm going to finish it off finally. How can anyone feel so important when we are that death is stalking us, when we know that death is stalking us? It's true. The thing to do when you're impatient is to turn to your left. Are you impatient? Turn to your left and ask advice from your death. I just did that live on camera. I don't know if you guys could just press rewind for the past 8 minutes, and you can see that I was talking to death itself for advice. And an immense amount of pettiness is dropped if your death makes a gesture to you, or if you catch a glimpse of it, or if you just have a feeling that your companion is there watching you. The issue of our death is never pressed far enough. Death is only the wise advisor that we have. Death is the only wise advisor.
Ingram tipped it. Send it to overtime.
Yes! Death is the only wise advisor that we have. Now that's fucking nuts. Death is the only wise advisor that we have. Whenever you feel, as you always do, that everything is going wrong and that you're about to be annihilated, turn to your death and ask that if it is so. Interesting. I'm going to do that next time that I have a near-death experience or a panic attack. I'm going to look to my death and go, is this true? Are you really about to kill me? And if he's like, yeah, I'll be like, oh, all right. Your death will tell you that you're wrong, that nothing really matters outside its touch. Your death will tell you, I haven't touched you yet. One of us here has to change and fast. One of us here has to change and fast. One of us here has to learn again that death is the hunter, and that is always to one's left. That's why they do the left eye. Lisa, left eye? Come on, people. Come on. One of us here has to ask death's advice and drop the cursed pettiness that belongs to men that live their lives as if death will never tap them. Yeah, you're not. Yeah. Think of your death now. It is at arm's length. It may tap you at any moment. So really you have no time for crappy thoughts or moods. None of us have time for that. The only thing that counts is action, acting instead of talking. A warrior takes responsibility for his acts. For the most trivial of his acts, he waits patiently, knowing that he is waiting, and knowing what he is waiting for. That is the warrior's way. What makes us happy is to want. What makes us unhappy? What makes us unhappy is to want. Yet if we would learn to cut our wants to nothing, the smallest thing we'd get would be a true gift. To be poor or wanting is only a thought. And so is to hate. To be poor or wanting is only a thought, and so is to hate, or to be hungry, or to be in pain. They are only thoughts for me now. I have accomplished that feat. The power to do that is all we have, mind you, to oppose the forces of our lives. Without the power, that we are dust in the wind. Interesting. It is up to us as single individuals to oppose the forces of our lives. Sounds like globalism versus flatheads. It is up to us as single individuals to oppose the forces of our lives. Only a warrior can survive. A warrior knows that he is waiting and what he is waiting for. And while he waits, he wants nothing. And thus, whatever little thing he gets is more than he can take. If he needs to eat, he finds a way, because he is not hungry. If something hurts his body, he finds a way to stop it because he is not in pain. To be hungry or to be in pain means that the man has abandoned himself and is no longer a warrior. And the forces of his hunger and pain will destroy him. The only thing we all have in common is that we play tricks in order to force ourselves to abandon this quest. The quest. The countermeasure is to persist in all spite of all the barriers and disappointments. A path is only a path, and there is no effort, no affront to oneself or to others in dropping it if it is what your heart tells you. So whatsoever your heart tells you, drop the path you're on. Take your heart's path. Look at every path closely and deliberately. Try it as many times as you think necessary. And then ask yourself alone one question: does this path have a heart? If it does, the path is good. If it doesn't, it is of no use. Then ask yourself alone one question: does this path have a heart? If it does, the path is good. If it doesn't, it is of no use. The basic difference between an ordinary man and a warrior is that a warrior takes everything as a challenge, while an ordinary man takes everything as a blessing or a curse. For me, the world is weird because it is awesome and mysterious and unfathomable. My interest has been to convince you that you must assume responsibility for being here in this marvelous world, in this marvelous desert, in this marvelous time. I want to convince you that you must learn to make every action count, since you are going to be here for only a short while, in fact, too short for witnessing all the marvels of it. You have little time left, and none of it for crap. A fine state. I would say that the best of us always comes out when we are always against the wall, when we feel the sword dangling overhead. Personally, I wouldn't have it any other way. Self-importance is our greatest enemy. Think about it. What weakens us is feeling offended by the deeds and misdeeds of our fellow men. Our self-importance requires what we spend most of our lives offended. Our self-importance requires that we spend most of our lives offended by someone. Do you hear that? Do you hear that statement? Do you listen to that? Our self-importance requires that we spend most of our lives offended by someone or something. Our internal dialogue, the voice chattering, cha cha cha. The eternal dialogue is what grounds people in the daily world. The world is such and such, or so and so, only because we talk to ourselves about its being such and such and so and so. The passageway into the world of shamans opens up after the warrior has learned to shut off his eternal dialogue. You must stop talking to yourself. Every one of us does that. We carry on an eternal talk. We talk about our world. In fact, we maintain our world through our eternal talk. Whenever we finish talking to ourselves, the world is always as it should be. We renew it. We kindle it with life. We uphold it with our internal talk. Not only that, but we also choose our paths as we talk to ourselves. Thus, we repeat the same choices over and over until the day we die, because we keep on repeating the same internal talk over and over until the day we die. A warrior is aware of this and strives to stop this talking. This is the last point you have to know if you want to live like a warrior. Man lives only to learn. And if he learns it, it is because it is the nature of his lot, for good or bad. The most effective way is to live as a warrior. A warrior may worry and think before making any decision. But once he makes it, he goes his way, free from worries or thoughts. There will be a million other decisions still waiting him. That's the warrior's way. A warrior may worry and think before making any decision, which is what I do. But once he makes it, he goes his way, free from worries or thoughts. There will be a million other decisions still awaiting him. That is the warrior's way. Nothing can tamper the spirit of a warrior as much as the challenge of dealing with impossible people in positions of power. Only under these conditions can warriors acquire the sobriety and serenity to withstand the pressure of the unknowable. A warrior is never idle and never in a hurry. A warrior is never idle and never in a hurry. Carlos Castaneda. Nothing can tamper the spirit of a warrior as much as the challenge of dealing with impossible people in positions of power. Wow. I mean, think about that. Globalists versus flat earthers. Nothing can tamper the spirit of a warrior as much as the challenge of dealing with impossible people in positions of power. Only under those conditions can warriors acquire the sobriety and serenity to withstand the pressure of the unknowable. And that's why I've been doing this shit for so goddamn long. Wow, that took a lot longer than I thought, but at least I fucking finished it. And that's the 4 enemies of the man of knowledge there, Christian. Hang on, what do you think of that?
That was great, man. I was looking at a condensed version, and then at the end when you went into that whole part about the internal dialogue, man, that was some good stuff that really made me kind of realize where I'm at. So
Changed my life. First time I heard it, I got my one of my best friends handed me the book, a nice physical book that I still have, and changed my life. Like he said this will change your life, and it was true.
yeah, it's great shit. I know I had the book, that one, when he gets, and I didn't get to finish it, but I got, when
The
he,
Tales of Power or something.
no, at the first one, the one
Oh,
where,
okay.
the one
Yep.
where he where he goes under the tutelage of the Yaqui Indian guy. And I remember,
Yeah.
reading how he hassled him, the guy wanted nothing. He was like, no, and then he kept hassling him, and then finally he let him, then he took him under
Yep.
his wing.
Yep.
Quite an amazing story.
It was a 10-year apprenticeship.
Yeah, and what's crazy about it all is that even in the end, after all the great things that Carlos Castaneda wrote, he basically sort of like wrote off. He basically said, like, no matter what, I'm just still just a white guy that wrote a bunch of books. Like he downplayed even all that great stuff that he wrote. In the end, he still said, he was like, in the end, it's like they're just a bunch of books written by a white guy. Like that's, I don't know if
Yeah,
that
there'd
was
be
his way of undermining what he did, but
yeah, it's a good point. But there's a lot of people that would disagree with you and say that there's a lot of other people who are over exaggerating his points and making him an over mythological creature entity. And so there's people who think the exact opposite of you, exactly like what we heard in earlier on this broadcast here. Between all
yeah,
that shit, it's just ridiculous, dude.
yeah.
Actually,
So
Robert Anton Wilson and Terrence McKenna and Alan Watts all had different views on Carlos Castaneda, although very similar, which is the one that I always had. So I know I'm right because they agree with me. And
yeah, the truth is probably somewhere in between. Just
exactly.
yeah.
But I'm gonna. You got anything else to finish this off? I'm gonna shut this off.
No, man, I'm about to hit the sack too. I got some physical ailments I have to tend to anyway. So, man, it was great hanging out with you tonight, Dan. And I'm about to hit the sack, brother.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna pour myself a drink. I'll have myself another shoddy poo and a drinky poo for old Jim Leahy. And thank you, everyone, to the 10 people that are still fucking watching this. And you guys are legends, and I love you all. And thank you, hanging out. And we'll do this again soon. And on to Ho 80. Ho 8.0, and I'll if you could exit the conversation or mute yourself and then exit the conversation, I'm gonna play this one song and go unmute or turn off my video and play this song real quick. So I'm gonna turn off my video. Oh, not do that. Close that off. Good night, bro. Thank you. Turn camera off. And we'll do a little bit of this.
Things get a little easier once you understand. Things get a little easier.
I'll be expecting you to get a haircut by Friday.
Forget it, Dad. That won't change anything.
Forget nothing. You'll do as I say as long as you're living in my house.
Things get a little easier once you understand. Things
He
get a
knows
little
I'm not
easier.
feeling well, and yet he doesn't take 1 second out to help his mother. His only concern is for himself.
Come on, Ma. What do you want from me?
Don't argue with your mother. Just shut up and listen.
But Mom, all my friends will be there. I said no. Can't go. But why? I don't want you. Why? What's wrong with that neighborhood? I don't like the kind of people they are. What's wrong with them? Come on. Someday you'll thank me.
Are you sure no one kept you company tonight while you were babysitting?
What's that supposed to mean?
Just curious.
Admit it, Mom. You don't trust me. Where are you going now?
To my friend's house.
Don't you have things to do in the house? Don't you have any homework? Why don't you sit down and read a book?
Oh, Mom.
Don't go, Mom. You're wasting your life away with foolish things.
What are you talking about? How about your bridge club and your ladies' groups and your parties and your daytime programs? What about all that?
That's different. Ma, I'll be home at 11. You better be home at 10. I don't bother to come home at all.
When I was your age, I was working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. I was getting paid for the food and rent.
I don't understand. What's that got to do with me?
You can't figure that out for yourself. You're stupid.
It get a little easier once you understand.
Son, there's a little bit more to life than joining a group.
Once you understand.
Yeah, Dad? What is there to life?
Easier once you understand. Things get a little 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 easier once you understand.
Mr. Winker,
Yes.
you have a son named Bobby? Bobby Winker, age 21?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Mr. Winker. Your son stole $35 from your wallet, ran off with a fat girl, and joined the Subgenius Church. And now he's dead.
Dead? How?
He was raped to death by a bear with AIDS.
Oh my God.
Things get a little easier once you understand. Things get a little easier once you understand. Things get a little easier once you understand.
Things get a little easier for the Subgenius Church once you understand that there's a vast conspiracy of normalcy hell-bent on crushing all of your hopes and dreams. A conspiracy of your parents, churches, bosses, and politicians. Things get a little easier for the Subgenius Church once you understand the end is near and only they have the means to survive. But most importantly, things get a little easier for the Subgenius Church once you send $35 to P.O. Box 181417, Cleveland Heights, Ohio 44118. Already sold separately.
The vision, that's all, folks.